This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you can save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
It's Kelly Clarkson here to talk all things Wayfair, the best place to buy furniture, decor, and anything else you can think of to create a home you absolutely love. I know when I shop with Wayfair, I find options for every style, whether I'm feeling boho or farmhouse, modern, traditional, French country. I can find exactly what I need for my home and more. No matter your space, style, or budget, shop Wayfair.com to make your home way more you.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crime in Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmie. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us again on another crazy edition of Crime in Sports. This starts another series that we're going to start here.
Oh.
I've been waiting for this one for years. It's just so much fun. We're going to do Billy Martin here. And if you don't know who Billy Martin is, because he died, I want to say, a long time ago, spoiler alert, but he's not alive now. So if you don't know who he is one of the biggest characters who's ever existed in sports. We'll put it that way. He's like the Evel Knievel of baseball, is a good way to put it. He's insane. He commits multiple felonies on a daily basis. Whether he's caught or not, it doesn't matter. He's just constantly doing crazy shit. He's a lunatic, and he was also an amazing baseball manager and great player, too, and just a wild individual who...
There's a lot of quotes of his, right?
Oh, my God. Tons of quotes because he said a lot of... He just said what the fuck he thought. He said what was on his mind. Steinbrenner fired him like 12 times and hired him 11 more. And then, like, it's crazy. But he would fight, like, team officials and players on his... He's insane. He's an insane person. So we'll get to all of that very quickly. But before we do that, definitely head on over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get all your merchandise. Get all your tickets for Small Town Murder live shows.
Yeah.
We just finished up a weekend in Madison and Grand Rapids. And if our voices sound like we're dragging... Our spirits are up, but our bodies got their asses kicked this weekend.
My ass is still catching up.
We had 5.5 hour drives to make and shit. It was a lot. So I'm so excited for Billy Martin, though. So go over shutupandgivememurder.com, get your tickets for Seattle in October, get your merchandise, get all that good shit, and keep coming and hanging out with us. Also, get yourself Patreon.
Oh, boy.
You want Patreon. Anybody $5 a month or above, you're getting so much. First of all, hundreds of back episodes of bonus stuff you've never heard. Hundreds of them back there.
Oh, yeah.
Then you get new ones every other week. One Crime in Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you get it all. This week, what we're going to talk about, for Crime in Sports, we're going to talk about a wild NBA incident in the 70s between Kermit Washington and Rudy Tomjanovich. It's this punch.
Okay. Yeah.
This punch that just changed everybody's lives and reputation. It was the craziest thing in the world. It was wild, almost killed a man on the court. It was crazy. We'll talk all about that. Then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about the history of executions in the United States, which is a long and storied one. So we'll get into all of that. Patreon.com/Crime in Sports. And you also get all three shows, Crime in Sports, Your Stupid Opinions, and, of course, Small Town Murder, all ad-free with your Patreon subscription as well.
Fantastic.
Can't beat it. And you get a shout-out at the end of the show. What more could we give you, huh? What can we do? Drive you from Madison to Grand Rapids? Maybe.
Climb in.
Hop on in there. There you go. Yeah, you got the luggage fucking slot there in the back. That said, let's get right to it.
Okay.
We'll dive right in with old Billy Martin here. Now, Billy Martin's name, number one, is not Billy.
No?
Not Billy at all. He is not William.
What the hell is it?
Alfred Manuel Martin.
May as well.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What's the difference?
Yeah, also his like, God, what his like ethnicity, everything else is all kind of a weird clouded, not really, but it's wild. He's a junior, by the way, Alfred Manuel Martin Jr., of course.
Billy Martin Jr.
Of course. Has to be a junior. Oh, this is all junior behavior. Known as Billy the Kid. known as Casey's boy because Casey Stengel loved him because he's a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
He's a guy a manager will love because he'll do anything. He'll run headfirst into something. He'll go fight the whole other team if you want him to.
Yeah.
You don't even have to ask him. He just wants to. So he's a great guy and a very beloved Yankee. If you're not a Yankee fan or grew up in the New York area, he's a legend in Oakland where he took them to World Series. He's a legend in many other places, but he's played with the Yankees, won World Series with the Yankees, and then managed and had such a relationship with Steinbrenner where all the fans sided with Billy Martin instead of Steinbrenner. So like I grew up hearing nothing but Billy Martin constantly, and I loved him. He was crazy. So he's born May 16th, 1928.
Wow.
So the spoiler alert really isn't that much of a spoiler. He'd be dead no
Pretty
matter
clear
what.
he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah. He's born in Berkeley, California. Now, here's the odd part. He's born in Berkeley, California, Northern California. He plays and lives primarily in New York and somehow affects a Southern accent, which is the weirdest fucking thing. It's so strange. It's so strange. It's just like a baseball thing almost. Like
It's just how he talks.
It's real weird, dude. He's a real...
What is that?
He's just a strange paradox of a lot of things going on here.
Berkeley to New York, and on the way, evidently went through Alabama.
It's so strange. And even the teams he played for, Yankees, Kansas City A's, Detroit Tigers, Cleveland Indians, Cincinnati Reds, Milwaukee Braves, Minnesota Twins. These aren't no deep South teams here. Didn't play for Atlanta ever. Doesn't make any sense.
South of the Mason-Dixon. What's he doing?
He managed for Texas for a couple of years, but he already had that weird accent by then, so it didn't matter. Strange.
What's going on?
It's a strange thing here.
Where's his dad from? Do we know?
We will get all into his family, don't you worry here. Now, a lot of, we're going to have a bunch of excerpts from a book here. A lot of them are from Baseball's Flawed Genius by Bill Pennington. That's the name of the book. And that's a great way to describe Billy.
I'd love to be called that one day.
Yeah,
but I got one of them down.
Certainly flawed, and I'm not in baseball. I'm not a genius. So, but Billy is. That's the thing. No matter what, he's a guy who will come into a team, have a team that's under 500 and shitty, and he'll have them in the playoffs the next year. And then by the next year, he's being fired, even though the team's in first place. That's how much of a lunatic he is. So. And but then he'll get rehired because there'll be some team that really wants their shit turned around, and they'll be like, Billy can do it. So this is ability over aptitude, I guess would be the best word to put it. Now his father's name is Alfred Martin. Obviously, he's a junior. Yeah. His mother's name is Giovanna Salvini. That was her maiden name, Salvini.
Where's she from?
She's Italian, I believe.
Okay.
But there's also rumors that she's Portuguese. So that's the other thing. Billy's main nickname, the one he calls himself, is the Little Dago. He always calls himself the Little Dago. Now, if you're very young or from an area with no Italian people, that's an Italian slur.
That's not good.
That's an Italian slur forever. Yeah, don't go calling your Italian friends Dago. That'll get your teeth knocked out. So he always calls himself the Little Dago, but no one even ever knew if he was Italian or not. It was a weird, very weird little thing, but it's one of Billy's quirks. He'd call himself, with a weird partial Southern accent, he'd call himself the Little Dago. It's like, it's weird. It's very weird. He's also got a stepfather named Jack.
It's like Randy Moss calling himself something horrible.
Yeah, exactly.
With that accent.
Anybody else, makes it stranger.
Yeah.
Now, his mother goes by Jenny, by the way, as a lot of Italian. If you have a foreign name, like my grandmother's name was Loida, but nobody called her Loida. They called her Gloria because that was more Italian. That was more American and made more sense to people. Yeah, they go, Loida, what the fuck is that? Avoid that conversation. I'm Gloria. There you go.
Yeah.
Done. So Jenny Martin, while pregnant with her, the doctor wouldn't come to her house. She wanted to have her baby here, but the doctor didn't want to come to her house until she had electricity. Okay, so
can't see anything in here.
Yeah, I can't come to your house with no electricity and do shit. I don't know why they didn't go to a hospital, but whatever.
Right.
So Jenny's mother arranges for the electrical circuitry to go on, and she had Billy in an upstairs bedroom of the house and he was circumcised on the kitchen table.
Wow.
How'd you like to be like 12 and eating at the table and be like, we cut your dick open in this table. We chopped a chunk off right there where your daddy's eating his pot roast.
Pass the peas over my stolen foreskin.
Please do that. He was named after his father, who was a truck driver for the city of Berkeley. But Jenny's mother was named Raffaella, but everybody called her Nona because,
Yeah, because
she's an Italian grandmother. Yeah. So she said Billy was beautiful, and they called him. Now, her mother, Nona, always called him Bello, which is beautiful.
No, okay.
Beautiful baby. But somehow she always called him as a nickname.
That's how it got.
That's how
there.
Billy came from. Billy came from that. So somehow Bello translated to Billy for the other people, and then everybody always called him Billy after that.
Billy is Alabaman for hideous.
It is. So it's different than Bello for Italian for beautiful. So he and they all still call him Bill too. All his siblings called him Bill.
Really?
Everybody called him Bill. Now he's from West Berkeley, and apparently this is back then a very hard Scrabble area. This is not the Berkeley we know now.
Oh, no?
No, this is different times. You know what I mean?
Now it's entitled Dickens.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. But back then it wasn't great at all. Now, Billy didn't know what his real name was until the 7th grade.
Oh, really?
He just didn't know.
7th
Never saw
grade.
Paperwork. How often do you see a
Yeah.
birth certificate when you're 10 years old?
Yeah, but isn't
Everyone
that
calls
shit?
you Billy. My name's Billy.
Isn't that shit in the roll sheet from the teacher?
That's the point I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 7th grade. That's why I say didn't know until the 7th grade. A teacher took roll call of the class because before that it was elementary school. Your parents brought you in. You're Billy. They call you Billy. But
Whoa.
7th grade, he said the teacher took roll call and said Alfred Martin, Alfred Martin, Alfred Martin.
Yeah.
He never answered. And he said, wow, Billy was looking around going, I don't see anybody.
Al is late as fuck.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's here. Hey, teach. I think he's not coming.
Yeah.
Can I have his lunch? So she then looked around and said, I think that's you, Alfred Manuel Martin. And he said, I don't think so. I don't.
Not a chance.
I doubt that. Yeah, that's not Billy, I think. And she said, quote, you better go home and ask. Sure. So that night, he said, what's my name? Which is a strange question at 12 to ask your mom.
Hey, Ma.
Hey, Ma, what's my name? That's a strange thing. Yeah.
I got a teacher asking a lot of questions.
Oh, I think I just figured out the Southern accent, by the way.
Yeah?
He loves Mickey Mantle. I mean, Mickey Mantle and him, and Mickey Mantle was the star of those 50s teams. I think he affected Mickey Mantle's accent is what he did to be, because he hung around him. They were like inseparable. So I think.
Oh, they knew each other.
Oh, they were on this. Yeah, they won all those titles together, World Series titles. They got in the Copacabana, the whole deal. I mean, they were like inseparable. Even after he retired, Mickey retired, like he'd go visit him, and they'd go out hunting for the weekend, play golf all weekend, because they were both insane drunks too. Billy is a legendary drunk. I mean, fucking nobody drinks more than Billy. He's a wild son of a bitch.
Thank God Danny DeVito didn't idolize Arnold Schwarzenegger. Imagine that little guy sounding like that.
That would have been even weirder because they were 45 when they met, so he was. Would have been even stranger.
He just starts talking like him all of a sudden.
Billy was like 20 when he met Mickey Mantle, so that made a little more sense. But
20 years old and just started picking that up, and then forever.
That's what I think anyway. That would be my guess. So anyway, he went home and said, what's the deal? And his mom said, yeah, your name's Alfred Manuel. We just call you Billy because your grandmother called you that. Yeah. And whatever. Because it wasn't a big deal. Her name is Jovan, and they call her Jenny, and mom, everybody calls her Noni. And in Italian... And the Italian culture is another thing. Names are very interchangeable, and everybody has a nickname. There's a group of Italian guys. None of them call each other by their names. It just doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal.
That's why they ask, what's your government name, right? Because
I mean,
it's got to be.
I guess, yeah. But yeah, we kind of started the never use your real name thing. Everybody has a nickname. Everybody's like that. So. Now, her father, Nicholas Salvini, had emigrated to San Francisco, where his brother lived, from Italy in 1879. So they came over early. That is like the first fucking wave. I don't know. They might have been the first goddamn Italians here.
Maybe so.
The first Italians really came to San Francisco and New Orleans, actually, was the...
San Francisco?
Yeah, San Francisco's got a huge, that whole waterfront with all that shit.
I'm just saying, that's
it's a long ride. It's a long, but a lot of those people knew fishing and they knew water things, and San Francisco had that going on, so that's why they went there.
Did
they
Boston not? I guess.
No, Boston is not a welcoming place for outsiders.
Yeah, sure.
When it comes to that,
the fishing and such is there.
Yeah, I guess so, but I think San Francisco too. The weather is a little better and things like that. Also, it's a little more,
much less snow.
Also, if you look at San Francisco, that's what Italy looks like. It's exactly the same.
Rocky cliffs and shit. Yeah.
The hills, the mountain, like that's kind of what it looks like. So it makes sense that they would go there. New Orleans, I don't know. I think they just went there because
that's nothing.
They could go there and then realize that was a bad idea, and most of us left after the lynchings and stuff. So
it's not a good place.
No, if you look up that shit. So anyway, history-wise, there was an arranged marriage with them as well. So, her father came over, got arranged marriage to a woman named Raffaella. That's Billy's grandfather and grandmother, and they had 10 kids.
God damn.
10 kids. Back then, you pumped them out. That's my grandmother's one of 10. One of 10. I mean, there was work to be done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And also back then, before like childhood vaccines and shit, you'd lose
some.
You'd lose 4 out of 10 before they were 10 years old. They just die of diseases. People don't understand. They don't understand that now, but that's the norm back then.
Watching a Thomas Jefferson documentary, that man had like 13 kids, but only 6 survived or something.
That's totally
like that.
normal.
It's unbelievable.
You got about half of them back then.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they died in childbirth a lot, and they died after that. They died in the first 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened all the time.
Diseases, accidents, but sometimes they just don't come out.
That happened plenty. Yeah, it's wild. Wow. So, anyway, they now his mom, Jenny, was born in 1901, and her parents didn't really learn to speak English. So they gave her this name that she didn't like, and she wanted something more Americanized because, being an immigrant was a little hard. So she goes by Jenny, and that's what she wanted. At 10 years old, she said, "I'm Jenny from now on." And that was that. So now, when Jenny was 17, she was ordered to marry a guy. Ordered to.
Marriage,
no.
Just get out there and
go marry him.
Wife.
No. A particular guy that they picked out for her.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of arranged.
Marry him. Right. Donato Pisani is his name. Yeah. Now he's 10 years older, and they get married. They have a son named Frank, and for some reason they called him Tudo, and they never knew why.
Okay.
Tudo. Who the hell knows? That was his nickname. So they divorced after 3 years, which is pretty difficult to do in the early 20s.
Yeah.
To get divorced and everything. But Donato ended up heading back to Italy. So he went home.
Okay.
Now, Jenny said that she traveled. By the way, she didn't like to go many places here. She also said Donato was not a faithful husband.
No.
And after they got divorced, he went back to Italy and died pretty quick.
Oh, wow.
So that was that. So she was a little wild, Jenny, for a while in the 20s. We're talking. She was hanging out with like guys who rode motorcycles back then.
Really?
Yeah, and hung out in Oakland, which was
ground zero for the swell.
Yeah. I mean, this is 30 years before the Hells Angels and shit like that, and really biker clubs. But there were still guys.
That's ground zero for motorcycle culture.
Well, it was guys that had them in World War I. That's where that all came from. Was that shit? So. Anyway, they ended up moving. They lived in West Berkeley, and Jenny would hang out, and that's how it worked. Now, her sister Teresa ran a small brothel and speakeasy down the road because this is the 20s, Prohibition. So this is where Billy's family comes from. It's he's an interesting guy. So Billy called it a cat house, the brothel. And he recalled sitting on a sofa with his mother in Aunt Teresa's cat house when he was about 7 or 8, drinking a soda and watching the guys come in and out. He didn't know what it was at the time, but when he was a teenager, he went, oh, that was a fucking brothel.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit, God damn it. I was right where I wanted to be and didn't even know it. Look at that.
Yeah.
So he said, I just knew it was a place that men would buy me a Coke and pat me on the head. What a naive kid. What did I know? That he's rubbing your aunt's juices on your head. That's gross.
Yeah.
Tussling your hair with fucking...
Your mom's got what did he say in Forrest Gump? Oh. Your mama really cares about your schooling.
Oh, yeah. So I fucking hate Forrest Gump. I don't know.
It's just what he
it wasn't shoot me in the head.
House, but it was certainly sex for favors.
That was definitely getting an exchange of something.
Yeah.
Bodily fluids, grades, some shit. So now Mom here, a little bit about Mom here. Jenny meets Al Martin, Billy's dad, in Oakland during a summer evening here, as I guess her mother was babysitting little Tudo here. Yeah. And Martin is Hawaiian and Portuguese. So that's where he's got. Those are very different things, and I guess he likes fish though, for sure.
Seafood is his jam.
But he is a singer and guitar player and dances, and he does like showbiz shit basically. Yeah. Like he's like a nightclub act, which is amazing. Now Jenny's only 4'11", Mom, which explains why Billy is so goddamn short. Billy's a tiny little guy, which is why he likes to fight so much. She claims she was 5 feet though, and this is another thing. Even Mom has this weird obsession. She's only 5 feet. She's only 4'11", but if someone said she was under 5 feet, she would fucking lose her mind and like attack them. She's crazy.
Okay. That's the line.
You see where it comes from.
Call me short.
Yeah, you see where it comes from. People said that she had a nice figure. Mom was hot. I think it was going on. Mom was hot, and she would like to go out and party. And
little dynamite in the package.
Yeah, Mom had some curves to her. So Billy said he recalled walking in the West Berkeley streets as an 11-year-old with his mother and listening to men whistle. Yeah. So he said Billy would turn and get angry at them, and his mother would grab him by the neck and keep him moving. And she said, do you know why they're whistling at me? Because I have the best looking ass in town, and don't you forget it. That's what he said. His mom told him. Why would you tell your son? It's important that my children know about my assets. They need to know. You should hear about my pussy. It's crazy. You should hear the guys that fuck me.
Knows. I got the best ass in town.
The best ass in town, and don't you forget it. It's very important that you know that.
Yeah.
Now, Al is a tall guy. He's got a long, kind of thin nose, and he also rocked the pencil-thin 1920s mustache. Yeah, one of those, like he should be flipping a nickel somewhere, offering, hey, guy, what are you doing over there?
Public enemy #1 mustache.
Absolutely. So they got married on May 16th. They got married in like 1926, and then May 16th, 1928, there's Billy.
Okay.
So now there are different versions of the story of the first few months of Billy's life here, but the only thing that's consistent with all these stories is that Al left Jenny before Billy knew who Al was. Al was gone quickly. Yeah. Jenny's got quite the picker. She's good. Well, I mean, she was forced into the first marriage. That's not really her fault.
It's not picking,
No, and then she finds this fucking lunatic. So it's really, really interesting here. Now, Jenny here, they're talking about basically the story we're going to hear is not from Dad's side at all because he took off. So it's all what Mom told everybody. Then the legend grows of that. Yeah. So basically, Jenny says that Billy's dad liked to stay out late in the clubs where Jenny figured, obviously, he's fucking around with other women. What else are you doing at the clubs late at night? So Billy, he says that basically the story he tells is his mother told him that his mother found his father with another woman. Oh. And she went home and threw all of Al's clothes in a suitcase and threw it into the street and told him to go away.
Good answer.
Yeah, so that's funny. So then Billy liked to talk about how Jenny then went out to the curb and broke the windshield and the windows of the new car that she and Al had just bought. She's Jim Brown, Richard Pryor, this fucking thing, too. Mom is a party. Yeah. My ass is the best, and don't you forget it. Where's that fucking crowbar? I'll destroy this car. Like, No wonder why
All
Billy's
your
Billy. Yeah.
All your shit in the front yard.
No shit. No wonder why Billy's Billy. Holy Christ, man. So he said that, yeah, he knew it. He said she knew he would take the car, but she didn't want him to have it without a cost, even if it cost her too.
Okay.
Cut the nose off despite the face here. So they say too, that's everybody notices that Billy has all of Jenny's like temper and all of his inherited traits that way. Very interesting here. Basically, they said Jenny was sad for a little while, but then rebounded pretty quickly.
Good.
And Jenny never referred, even into her 80s, she lived to, her mom, never referred to Al Martin as Al Martin, only the jackass.
The jackass.
The jackass.
Nice.
One of her other kids said she never used his name. Names aren't very important in Billy's family. So
Outstanding.
it's fucked up. So now Al Martin then returned to Hawaii when Billy was an infant, but stayed out of his life. And Hawaii is back then especially. That's quite the journey.
Yeah.
That's not like you can go back and forth quick. Or there's no commuter flights from Hawaii real quick. So many years later, apparently, Al would keep in touch with Billy's daughter, who reached out to him. Who reached out to him apparently, and now Al's story. Al had a totally different story than Jenny. Jenny said she's home with the kids. He's out late. She goes to check on him. He's cavorting. She throws shit out and blah, blah, blah. Al says that Jenny was, quote, working the streets as a common hooker.
Oh, my God.
That's what he says.
That is a wild-ass claim.
Yes, but he said that she learned it from working in her sister's brothel.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which it seems like she would open a brothel probably. She wouldn't be selling herself.
You'd think so, yeah.
She's probably figured it out. Oh, you sell other women. You don't sell yourself. Okay.
Yeah. Keep your mileage low.
Al said he would find her walking the streets and have to drag her home.
Okay.
That's what she said. Now, Al would go to work or go out at night, and Jenny would return to the streets and pocket the extra cash, and then Al would pick her up again and bring her back home. Checking his traps at the end of the night is what he's doing, he said. He said that went on for weeks and months until one night after Al brought Jenny home from the streets, he says she picked up a knife and held it to Billy's neck and threatened to kill Billy. And said, if you don't leave and never come back, I'll kill Billy. So he said he just left without another word.
Okay.
Now, where in the middle is the truth?
Somewhere, yeah.
I bet they were both cheating on each other and both had crazy fights, and then he left for after some drunken fight, and that's probably what happened. It's probably somewhere in the middle. Now, Billy has all sorts of family in the neighborhood. He's got cousins and siblings and all this type of shit. None of these people say that Al's version was correct. They all say that mom never turned tricks. Isn't it weird to have to go, my mom she didn't turn tricks, okay?
Oh,
Look,
never sucked dick for money. Not
she
once.
Never. No.
Yeah.
Half and halves were not on the table with my mom. She said no. So Jenny, they said, yes, she did work at Billy's aunt's speakeasy and brothel, but she worked downstairs serving drinks, not in the brothelry, we'll call it.
More down in the speakeasy area.
Yeah, more in that area. And there's a difference between that, too, because at strip clubs, there's girls that there's chicks that are waitresses.
There's waitresses, that
don't take their clothes off. I
right.
mean, they're wearing, bikinis or whatever, but they're not naked. Different.
Swearingen sold the booze. The chicks upstairs sold the cunt.
That's it, yeah. Yeah, exactly. You didn't see Dan whipping his cock out for anybody, did you? No. That'd be weird.
And that other
Come
kid
over
just
here.
got the sled.
Come on over here, Ellsworth. I got something to show you. That would have been a real strange fucking episode. Now, I'm going to show Bullock my balls. I'm going to do it.
He did fall in love with one, and he was upset about
Yeah, he did. God, that guy, I love that fucking actor. He's so good.
He's a great actor.
He's so fucking good, man.
You love him, you hate him, you love him, you hate him. He's so good at
he's just a great actor.
Yeah.
Great fucking actor. So one of Billy's siblings said she cleaned up and helped out a lot. It's ridiculous to say she did more than that. She knew where to draw the line, and so did Teresa. Most of us stayed away from that house. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you a little bit more about those delicious Factor meals.
Oh, factormeals.com.
Oh, you know it. Fall always feels like you're getting back into something. Summer's over, you got to reset, get all different clothes and all that. Back to school, routines, shorter days. Finding time to cook can be a tough one. It really can. It's all that. You're working, kids are going. That's why we love Factor. Their chef-prepped, dietitian-approved meals make it easy to stay on track and enjoy something comforting and delicious, no matter how hectic the season gets. More variety, more meals. You choose from a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. None. Support your wellness goals, even more GLP-1 friendly meals now. They have new Mediterranean diet options packed with protein and good-for-you fats. There's global flavors. For the first time, try Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and even more. From more choices to better nutrition, that's why 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. Feel the difference no matter what your routine is. And these are great meals. You can cook these. You can get these done so fast. I know your kids for the sports. It's like, nice. They don't have a lot of time. They get home from school. They got to go transition. These are the best. They're so
you
good.
Can get it done.
Get it done, and you can do it too. Eat smart at factormeals.com/CrimeInSports50 off and use the code CrimeInSports50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code CrimeInSports50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
Now back to the show.
So now Jenny's going to meet another man here. Here we go. He's a good singer. This guy's a singer.
Yeah.
So she is up for whatever.
Yeah.
He's an Irish tenor who is from Toronto. That's what there. Now there's some different accounts of how Jenny met this husband here. This is Jack Downey. He was working one of the ferry boats that regularly crossed the bay. Okay. This is before there was the Bay Bridge and all that kind of shit here. So Jenny also said that Jack was a cook or a singing waiter on the boat, and then he sung professionally in Chicago. Okay. So we don't know. Now his name is John, but everybody calls him Jack.
Yeah.
Which is actually very common.
Yeah.
That's common. Yeah, that's just, I don't understand that. Just pick one.
That's part of it. Yeah.
So they said that they're going to have more kids too. She's going to marry this guy, and they're going to have more kids. And that's kind of, I guess, the legend is Dad sang to Mom on the ferry and crooned at her, and she melted and fell in love with him, and that's that. So anyway, that's what they all say. Now Jack is a small guy too, 5'5", 120 pounds.
Oh yeah.
So, and she's 4'11", so this is fun. They said he's a quiet guy who rarely would fight with Jenny, even though Jenny was looking for fights, basically.
Yeah.
She'd get pissed off about something, start screaming and cursing and doing all that shit, saying fuck a lot, which is Billy's favorite word, too.
Sure.
And Jack would just laugh. He wouldn't even tell you, just laugh. Which sounds honestly exactly like my grandmother and grandfather. Like, she would yell and
just
freak out.
About it.
No, he'd go like this. He'd go, hey, and he'd put it, that's all he would do. Hey, and
there
she would scream and yell, and that's that. So he'd say, that's a good one. I haven't heard that one before. Hey, why don't you take it easy? That's enough of that. That's what he would say. All right, calm down now. But she would dominate the conversation, and that's kind of how it was. And wow. Now they have very little money. Very little money.
Sure.
He's a singer on a boat.
Yeah.
And she serves drinks at the brothel sometimes. So
yeah. And there's a lot of kids.
There's a lot of kids. She's got kids from multiple different people here, and I guess her sisters and brothers would like bring them food over to the house, and also the priests from the local church would bring them food because they had no fucking money. One sister, and this is start of the Depression too. This is not a good time for anybody really, but especially if you're poor to begin with, not good. On one visit, one of the sisters who brought food and stuff over said she recalled sitting in the kitchen and asking where Billy, Jenny's baby, was. And Jenny said, out back. So they said that the sister walked out the back door and saw Billy sitting in a tuft of grass, drinking milk out of a beer bottle with a nipple attached. Hell yeah. Think about that. Oh,
That
she
is
just
cool as shit.
She
Yeah.
slapped a nipple on a beer bottle and said, "There you go, Billy. Go. I left you about 2 ounces in the bottom just to
Don't worry, it's mostly milk.
you should be good there." That's fucking amazing. So real weird. That's how she would watch the baby. Now, they end up getting married. Her and Jack got married in 1929, 7 days after the stock market crashed.
Mm-hmm.
So very, 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 very bad here. Now, Jack is a hard worker, though. That's the thing. He's a very hard worker when he needs to be. So he didn't know what to do, but he did physical labor, whatever he could. He would work hard. He would load ships, load trucks, that kind of thing. He worked down at the docks, too. That's it. Billy always said they didn't want to give my dad the lumper's job, which means moving things, just like a laborer, just that moves shit, picks shit up, like a dock worker,
Yeah.
They said they looked at this 120-pound guy and said, "How are you going to lift 75-pound bags of stuff onto a truck?" And my dad said, "Where are the bags?" So they pointed to a big pile, and he went over and hoisted one onto his shoulders and flung it onto the truck. Then he grabbed 4 more, and they gave him the job.
Yeah.
So
Don't worry, I'll do it. That's how.
Yeah, I have to. Either that or my kids starve. So
How am I going to do it? You're going to pay me, and I'm going to do
I'm
it.
gonna fucking do it. Yeah.
That's it.
So one of the siblings said, "We never missed a meal. We always had clothes, not many, but what we needed. And it was all because of Jack. And he raised Bill. He didn't correct him in front of my mother. That was her job. She disciplined Bill when she had to. But Jack did everything else he could for Bill." And Billy said, quote, he calls Jack his dad. He said, "My dad was a great guy, quiet and small, but the kind of guy who would come over to your house and help you with some project, even if you didn't ask him for the help. He didn't have a lot of money, but he would slip a kid who needed a few bucks the money. He'd ask the kid to come help him haul some wood from the docks, and then he would overpay him." Yeah, he said he would go to local pickup games and help pay for a couple of new baseball gloves or a bat. He said they were small things, but I saw him do it 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways. And that makes a lot of sense. They said that Jenny, though, had all the influence on Billy. That's where most of the influence came. From the book, quote, "She filled him with defiance and burning determination and the willingness to try anything and the combativeness."
Yeah.
But Jack had a low-key role, but Jack taught him to be a real hard worker, though. That's the thing. And also there was no step anybody in this family. That's dad. Oh. All the brothers and sisters are brothers and sisters. None of that bullshit. So, it's back then too. I mean, they probably didn't even know the term, Yeah. So I guess Billy would watch. Everybody would discuss how Jenny would basically just attack everything with fury, even if it didn't need to be.
Oh,
it was a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. They said Jack was always just goodwill and calm, but Mom was always just had something in her that she just needs to fight all the time with everybody. One of these siblings said his mom was the fire, but his dad was the compassion, and Billy had a ton of both. Over his life, you're not going to see a whole lot of compassion out of Billy, I'll be honest with you.
Not compassion? It's mostly fire?
Mostly fire.
Yeah.
So with Billy, there was always shit going on, basically, because he's his mother's son, and that's that. Yeah. So Jenny didn't like to admit her mistakes. She said her biggest regret in life was that she wished she had arranged for Jack to adopt Billy when they were first married. She said that would have been better if, when he got famous and stuff, if he would have had that guy's last name, because he deserved it, basically. Yeah. So young Billy here, Jesus Christ, they talk about how Billy would go to confession every week. He'd have to go, I guess every Friday was confession day. He'd go to the St. Ambrose Church, talk to the priest, and Billy would, do his confessions and everything like that. And he would basically, they said, failing to honor his mother and father, Billy did not talk back to his parents. For one, he didn't know his father, who left his mother, and he didn't dare cross his mother. who would beat the living shit out of him.
Yeah.
So he said Jenny Martin knew how to throw a punch also, which Billy will learn very well here. He said everyone in the family had seen with their own eyes her prowess in a fist fight with women and men.
What? Both.
4'11", throwing fucking
Wow.
dropping bombs on men.
Haymakers.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. So I'll read from the book here. In the gritty, crowded, downtrodden streets of West Berkeley where Billy lived, there was almost nothing to steal. California in the Great Depression was indeed a Garden of Eden, a paradise to live in or see, as Woody Guthrie sang in the Ballad of the Era, as we know. Mm-hmm. But no one would ever sing the praises of Billy's neighborhood. He lived in one of the hundreds of tiny homes crammed against the East Bay docks across from the burgeoning San Francisco. The tightly spaced West Berkeley houses were scruffy, set back just 10 feet from busy, unkempt streets. There were homes without lawns and with tattered backyard fences. Factories and fish canning plants towered over the neighborhood and seeded the sky with a smoky haze. The smell of the processed seafood filled the streets. We're getting an idea, right?
Yeah.
2 miles east of the water, the verdant hills of Greater Berkeley climbed, a setting dotted with 2-story middle-class homes and princely estates belonging to administrators, professors, and the staff at the college there.
UC Berkeley. Yep.
So it's a little bit different. You can see there's railroad tracks basically in this town. You live here, there. So they talked about how at Berkeley, they said, no, Billy Martin didn't steal, only if you count some of the cooked crabs kitchen workers left to cool behind Spenger's Fish Grotto, the roomy seafood restaurant near the docks. But that truly was not stealing. The workers who had walked the few blocks from their West Berkeley homes left the crabs out on purpose, knowing it was a way people steal these, essentially.
Right.
Leaving them out for the neighborhood.
Those.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're from that fucking neighborhood. So that makes sense. So they said they always had food on the table, but Billy always knew that his dad had to work 2 or 3 jobs to get this done, basically.
Yeah.
That's tough. So he said also in this neighborhood, most of the adults in this neighborhood never went even to high school.
Really?
Once they were of working age, they dropped out of school, they had to work. That was that, especially during the Depression. I mean, you got to work, that's all. His mother had no car. She walked everywhere. And he said all he ever wanted was a car. He said someday he was going to get himself a big-ass car. A big-ass car. Billy wanted a big old car. That's what he wanted. He wanted clothes. He wanted the things he saw that were in movies and shit that he saw people on the streets had that were cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? And obviously, that's what every kid wants. You know what I'm saying? Every kid wants to have the stuff like that. They said, though, that life had, this is from Father Moore of the church he went to, life had already made Billy most vulnerable. There was an insecurity. A lot of the kids from West Berkeley had it. It's the worry that you might someday have nothing. It was the idea, a constant fear that it could all be taken away at any moment.
Yeah.
And so he said Billy knew he was good at baseball from age 8, and he knew that was what he needed to do.
That's his thing. Yeah.
They told him, that's your fucking thing. Do that, and you can get out of here. Yeah. That's your way out of here. So he said that he watched what he called the greatest team in the world ever was the 1936 New York Yankees he loved. This is like Joe DiMaggio's rookie year type of deal. Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio, Tony Lazzari, Red Ruffing. These are legends. So beginning in 36, the Yankees won 6 of the next 8 World Series. And they were in the World Series and lost in one of those too. So they were in it 7 out of 8 years, which for a kid, that's very formative here. Yeah. So he was obsessed with the Yankees. And he told the priest every week that he would play professional baseball in New York. No doubt, it's happening. He told his best friend the same thing. His best friend said, we'd be walking down the street and Billy would say, I'm going to play for the Yankees someday. And I'd say, yeah, sure, Billy. I kind of laughed it off, like, yeah, sure, whatever you say. But he wasn't kidding. He'd turn to me and say, listen, you wait and see. I'm going to come back here and remind you of this when I'm playing for the Yankees. Mm-hmm. That's fun. So that's what they were talking about. Now, I guess the priest decided that, well, Billy, that's a good thing. He said that he said you shouldn't covet people's things. I know you want to have a big car and nice clothes, but that's coveting. Ambition is coveting. See?
All right.
Yeah. Back.
Goals and shit. That's coveting.
You can twist those commandments to mean anything you want, really. And when everybody's poor and there's not a lot to achieve, you just say, that's coveting. Calm down.
Pretty greedy, if you ask me.
So that's really funny. The father made Billy, I'm talking the priest father, made Billy clean the church pews as penance for coveting.
Yeah.
For having ambition. How dare you want things that are better than this? How dare you not want to smell seafood all the time?
Right.
Fuck. So Billy did it, and that was that. And he said, I'd be asleep. This is one of his cousins. He said, I'd be asleep, and Billy would be tapping on my bedroom window telling me and my brother Nick to get up to go to church. Apparently, he was big into it. They said my house was just a couple of blocks away, and he'd come get me, badgering me until I went with him. Oh. It was easier to get up and go than to argue with him because Billy, like his mother, knew how to argue.
Yeah.
That's funny. So one of the older relatives here, his aunt, said that there was a lot of things people completely missed about him here. They said that the one thing that always surprises me is how religious Billy was, even as an adult. I know he did a lot of crazy, wild things. Even in his final days, he was a guy who would quietly go to church. You could find him sitting there thinking to himself.
Oh.
Yeah, they said when we were kids, me and my brother, we would start talking or horsing around in the church pew, but Billy would jab us hard in the ribs with an elbow and say, shut up, don't do that here. Show respect.
I'm trying to find loopholes of how to get through all this shit and
I'm
still go to heaven.
Jesus Christ, I'm going to be lost later on without this bullshit. Jeez, don't disrespect the fucking pizza parlor. Was that Maltazan? That's one of those. So he said Billy was one of the guys in our neighborhood. He fought and scrapped and wanted to get somewhere like the rest of us, but he always had this other side too. Like in church, he sat there and behaved. After church, him and his cousins, Billy and there was Nick and Mario, his cousins. Yeah. They'd walk back and get back in there. And they said on so many of those walks, Billy would be talking about baseball, and he'd say to Mario and me, "I'm going to play for the Yankees." And we heard it so much that we wouldn't even look at him after a while. We'd just say, "Yeah, sure, Billy, we know." We didn't believe him though, not in the least.
Yeah.
Now Billy is a very popular kid.
Oh,
very popular. Here's one thing that a lot of people say about him, and this goes for years and goes on forever. That quote: Billy didn't know or care about ethnic makeup. He was Italian and Portuguese with an Irish stepfather. So
yeah, and a Southern accent.
It's all mixed up. Yeah, not at that point, but later. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Who was he to say anything to anybody about their background? That basically is the way he thought. I'm a fucking mess. I'm a mutt. What do I care?
I'm everything. Yeah.
I'm everything. So, yeah, everybody liked him, they said. But when we were younger, we were always running from our little houses to some place we could play and stay there as long as we could, meaning go play baseball. By the way, Billy's sister, Pat, says swearing was like breathing to my mother. She didn't leave room for anybody else to swear, and if one of us swore, we'd get the back of her hand across our face anyway. So we did not swear. Mm-hmm. No, because that's for mom.
Yeah.
No swearing, you little fucking shit. Get over here.
Let her have hers. My ass is the best in town. I've earned it.
You know that, and don't ever forget it. By the way,
don't forget it. Yeah.
Don't you forget it. Yeah, Billy said, quote, "When I was a kid, I got a ride to the theater on a bike with a friend of mine. Later that night, the police came looking for me. It seemed after he dropped me off, the kid who gave me the ride went around robbing houses. I don't know why those things happened to me, but I was born May 16th. I'm a Taurus. If you believe in those things," I don't think that's Taurus, by the way.
Wait, what is it?
May 16th? Is that Taurus?
I
yes,
think
it is. It's April. Okay. If you believe those things... but if you believe in those things, but I tell you, I can write a book on happiness, or on happenings. I'm sorry. That was in 1975, he said. Yeah. He said, things happened to Billy, basically, is the way he puts it. Like, I try to do the right thing, and just things around
victim.
me.
Yeah.
He's a victim of circumstance, really.
That's what it is.
This whole problem.
My environment, it just gets me.
One time, Billy said, where I come from, we had to be tough. Somehow the kids like to fight in my neighborhood. I must have been in 100 fights when I was a kid, and I only lost one. He was a bigger fellow. I always was fighting bigger fellows. I was licking him. That doesn't sound right.
No, it doesn't.
I was licking him, and when he pushed me against an automobile and I fell down, I was getting up when they stopped the fight. I guess you'd call that getting licked. Okay. That's fucking fun here. He also said, as a kid, I always dreamed about being a player. He said, Augie Gallen lived in my area. He's a professional player. He said, my older brother, Frank, buddied with Augie, and they played baseball at James Kenney Park in Berkeley, and I'd watch them. That was my dream, to be a player. So Kenney Park is the main jam for him around here.
That's our guy. Yeah.
Basically, if you were born in this area, everything sucked, but the park was good.
Okay.
So they said that's where all the kids would be playing baseball. Now, Augie Gallen was an outfielder for the Chicago Cubs, lifetime 287 hitter.
Wow.
Not bad. And he was at the park all the time. His family owned a laundry near there, so he was there all the time. And with some of the neighborhood guys, he would also bring with him a guy named Bill Rigney, who was an all-star for the New York Giants, the baseball Giants, before they moved. And he was from Alameda, so he lived in this area as well. There was also a guy named Les Scarcella of the Cincinnati Reds who lived in San Francisco who would come, and a guy named Ernie Lombardi, who was the future Hall of Fame catcher, who'd also was from this area. So a lot of players came to this park and had been to this park, so it was kind of a big deal.
Sure.
And back then, the guys didn't make a shitload of money, so they lived in normal neighborhoods for the most part. Guys didn't, they didn't all live in Brentwood and these little, compounds. They basically, they all had different spots they were. Like in very famous, like the Baltimore Colts, when they moved, everybody was sad because like all those players would like live in the neighborhood and walk to the games with the fans and shit like that.
It was Baltimore. Yeah,
it was one of those things here. Now
they were very beloved in their community.
Oh, they were
Colts.
Huge.
Boy.
They were completely enmeshed in it. You know how Baltimore is. They love their shit. They love their shit.
Man. Yeah, the Ravens, the Orioles, all that shit is a big fucking deal there.
Yeah, the kind of the shittier the place, the more they cling to things like that.
The more they cling to something.
You know what I mean?
Green Bay, Christ.
Yeah, we were just in Wisconsin. Remember those people screaming for every goddamn little Wisconsin thing?
You say anything Wisconsin, they lose their mind.
Because it's bleak. That's why.
There's nothing here.
Yeah.
So everything's here. We want to keep it.
They're all very nice, though. They're all very, very nice.
Boy, yeah.
Now, here we go with this type of shit. There was a lot of guys who would come in their late teens and early 20s and play at this park, too. Guys that were like minor league baseball players that wanted to play with these guys. So this park became a hot spot for like professional baseball players to be playing ball and practicing, which is amazing here. I guess Billy's older half-brother, Tudo, was a good player as well. Was a good pitcher.
Yeah.
Now, Billy also, they got Billy in there who was 8 to 10 years younger than everybody, but he would go to these workouts too and try to blend in, basically.
Oh.
They said the other players would get on Tudo for bringing his kid brother, but Billy didn't care. He didn't play, but he watched and waited, basically. He just waited to get older while he sat there. That's fucking funny. Now, apparently, Billy is good at this from a young age of ingratiating himself with older players, and I think that is what did it. He was around older players when he was younger and knew how to be friends with them. They said when the Yankees first got him in 1949, everybody was shocked because his first day on the team, he made friends with Joe DiMaggio, who was like as legendary as you get.
Yeah. And
they said that not everybody – DiMaggio's an aloof guy, basically. He just kind of stays to himself and does his thing. They said it was very weird for anybody to approach him without being invited to. Yeah. But this kid as a rookie came in and said, "Hi, I'm Billy," and blah, blah, blah. And they're both Italian from the Bay Area, so they got along because Joe DiMaggio is a San Francisco guy. So they said that everybody said that at the end of the first day, first of all, nobody pays the rookies any mind, especially not the most legendary guy around. They said everybody was shocked where at the end of the first day, fucking DiMaggio, who was never a real upbeat guy, walked over to Martin's locker and said, "Hey, Dago, you want to have dinner tonight or what?"
Dinner tonight?
Holy shit.
That?
He's going to have dinner with Joe DiMaggio? He's a rookie. But I think it helped that they were both guineas from the Bay Area. That's,
a couple of times. Yeah.
That's going to help here. So, and for Billy, that's just kind of the way he was. One guy who knew him said Billy thought he could relate to anyone. That's just the way it was. He said Billy knew some people that some people had a lot of money or better looks or more smarts, but he still thought he could talk and learn from them. He wasn't afraid of anyone, which makes a lot of sense for Billy here. He's not he's never fucking ever intimidated by anything, and we'll find that here. But when he'd go to this park, the players took a liking to him after a while because he always shows up. He's always there. And Billy said, I love being there and helping out. I also figured that eventually someone would not show up or get hurt and they would need an extra player, and that would be me. I'll hang out till I do it. And he said, and I did get to play that way.
Beautiful.
And that's how a lot of wrestling careers get started too. Guys that back in the day would
be around. Yeah.
Carry your gear everywhere and go to shows. Eventually someone will fuck up and they'll throw you in there. That's how everybody gets started.
There's also a lot of comics that are open micers that just hang out with just happen to,
It's the most pathetic thing in the world.
Every time at the clubs, and they eventually hang on to somebody, and somebody just likes hanging out with them.
That is the saddest thing ever, by the way.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. To watch somebody try to kiss somebody's ass who they don't even like so that maybe they can hang out with them more and be treated like shit is the weirdest fucking thing in the world. So his cousin said Billy picked the brains of Rigney and Augie and all those guys for years because they said that even at 12 or 13, Billy knew that this game was important and that he could do something with it. Rigney, the ball player, said he wasn't like the other kids at all. He said he loved to play baseball, but he was serious about it. He wasn't just passing the time or showing off for his friends or the girls watching. He said none of that shit. He was actually like a hard-nosed ball player at a young fucking age here. Now, they talk about his name a little bit here. I'll read from a newspaper article. They say Billy didn't know that till the 7th grade thing happened. So I love, by the way, this is a little addendum to that.
Yeah.
When he found out his name, she said, well, now I have an Alfred Martin of 1632 7th Street. And he said, that's got to be me.
It's got to be me.
It's got to be me. That's my address and everything. Has to be.
Who the hell else is it?
This is from another article here. Quote, he heard himself called Dago in Contempt and Prejudice. Those who knew of his baseball dreams told him you'll never make it. His mother opposed his baseball ambitions, although she's now proud of him. This is from later, obviously. He seems to have been a fighting terror and a real problem schoolboy in high school. He fought for a place in the world. He was put off the high school baseball team because a player on another team, quote, took a pop at me and I knocked him out cold, according to Billy. Mr. Jennings, the secretary, said, I should have turned my cheek. That's no way a man should act. But he also says it made me feel real bad that he yelled at here. Billy also says the funniest thing ever, which isn't true because I've read several books about hundreds of incidents that would go against this. But he said, quote, I never started a fight in my life.
Oh, believe it.
Now, what he would take as someone else starting a fight with him, quote unquote, is...
He was there.
The guy was standing there, for Christ's sake. I didn't start it. Look at him. He's right there.
He clearly showed up.
Oh, that's fucking funny. They said that he often threw the first punch, but he didn't start the disagreement.
No, that man stood there.
You start an argument with him. He considered the fight from like the first verbal anything. First words you say to each other, that's the start of the fight in his mind, not the person to throw a punch.
Right.
Interesting. But fighting was a part of this is a tough neighborhood, and especially a tough kind of Italian ethnic. The kids, all they do is fucking fight. All of us. It's crazy. So a lot of fighting. So Billy said that his childhood friends and family said he wouldn't instigate the fight necessarily, but he was definitely looking for one after a while. And they said that all the kids in the neighborhood had been kind of learned boxing at the local YMCA by the time they were 8. Boxing was a big deal back then. It was the biggest thing in the world, and there was shitloads of Italian fighters. Like, I mean, that was, basically all of like the Hispanic Latin fighters that are now, that percentage was Italians in the 30s and 40s back then. That's just the way it was. So one guy from the neighborhood said, I'm telling you, Billy didn't fight any more than anybody else. He was just better at it. And sometimes when you're better at it, people come gunning for you.
Sure.
He said that we got into regular scraps all the time and fist fights, but for Billy, his nose was just a constant source of agitation.
Oh, damn it.
Kids called him the Horn.
Yeah.
Because of his nose. He has a big nose. And Pinocchio, and pretty soon he developed a quick trigger. He didn't take it. He would come punch you, and like I said, he was good at it.
Horn.
The horn. Hey, it's the horn over here. Jenny had told her son, don't take shit from anybody. That's what my grandmother said to us too. Don't take shit from any. Go punch that guy in the face. Like that was your grandmother tells you that. It means something, Must be true. Yeah. Some Martin biographers have kind of made it into a mantra for Billy's life, but they said anyone who knew Billy actually came to understand that nothing about him was that simple. He did take a lot of shit from a lot of people. They said he could be diplomatic and behave politically, but he was calculating. Basically, is the way it was. They said he was a very cunning strategist and knew how to deal with people. He was a very good. He could figure out what button to push with people to get either them to like him or to not like him or whatever.
Whichever he wanted. He was good at manipulating.
Yeah, exactly. They said, there's a lot of fights he was in, but they said for the most part he was in control and overly polite because Billy was also an eager kid, and he was from the wrong side of the tracks, and he said that the other side of the tracks valued politeness. So if you want to get over to that other side of the tracks, you better act like them.
Be polite. Yeah.
Or punch them, one of the two.
Yeah.
Or give them a shot, one of the two. So
It's Kelly Clarkson here to talk all things Wayfair, the best place to buy furniture, decor, and anything else you can think of to create a home you absolutely love. I know when I shop with Wayfair, I find options for every style, whether I'm feeling boho or farmhouse, modern, traditional, French country. I can find exactly what I need for my home and more. No matter your space, style, or budget, shop wayfair.com to make your home way more you.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
they said unless you were one of his players, the easiest way to earn Billy's respect was to be polite to him and around him. He liked that, basically, which is interesting here. They said that still, if there was an origin of what would later become the celebrated mythic Battlin' Billy Martin, a figure carved in American sports history, it begins in adolescence, and by most accounts, it begins with Billy not being the one to start the fights.
Yes.
One of his cousins said, "We had to walk through Kenny Park to get to junior high school. There would be older kids sitting on benches in the park. Sometimes they'd ignore you, sometimes they wouldn't. And you know, Billy had that big nose and kind of big ears. They'd say, 'Nice elephant ears, Dumbo.'
Oh, boy.
And I saw Billy keep walking many, many times, but then there would be the day where he would put his books down, walk over, and say something back. If the kid wanted to fight, Billy knew what to do. He had practiced for that, too." So, yeah, that's not really his fault. And he had practiced working with a guy at the Kenny Park Community Center clubhouse. There's a guy named Dick Foster who is a former professional fighter, and he worked with all the kids. The city paid him as part of the recreation services department here. He had been a middleweight with a record of 34-11-4. So good fighter. Not bad. Very good. He was from this area as well, and so he would, he's going to teach all the kids here. So that's fun. I guess this guy working with Billy made a big deal. They said Dick Foster worked a lot with Billy, and nobody could make that speed bag patter back and forth like Billy. That's what one of his classmates said. Billy had fast hands, and he was coachable. Dick Foster taught him technique, how to fire punches from the inside without looping his arms. He taught him how to use his feet to deliver a harder punch. It was all boxing technique, leverage, shoulder and elbow movements, how to rotate the wrist and fist.
How to throw a punch.
How to throw a fucking punch. They said that, quote, he could fire 5 or 6 punches in a machine gun-like tempo, and they weren't jabs. They were hard punches to your nose or side of your head. He would hit you and knock you down. He had what all boxing trainers call heavy hands. He hit really hard.
He's fast.
And fast. The fucked up part is when he gets older, and I'm talking in his 50s, he doesn't realize that that's not the time to be fighting. Yeah. That's the thing. That
goes away quick.
That goes away, exactly. So
he might have the desire, but not the swing anymore.
He had the desire, but he'd get his ass kicked a lot because he was slower and getting smaller and weaker and everything else. It's not great.
It's slower is one thing. When the edge comes off it, it's like cutting with a dull knife, babe.
Yeah. So Jenny didn't want him boxing. Mm-hmm. He didn't like it. Didn't like him fighting. And he said, this is his Billy's sister, said after a while, My mother just wouldn't let him go anymore. I'd hear her yelling, "No more boxing, you're staying home." And that was that. He said Billy would sneak out and spar anyway. And by the time he was 14, though, he completely stopped. And that was that. But the instructor, the Foster guy, the middleweight there, he would come to the house to try to convince Jenny to let Billy turn pro as a boxer. He's like, he could be a pro boxer. I could get this guy to be a pro. And Jenny said, fuck no. And he's also not playing football either.
Yeah.
Nothing where he can get hurt. She didn't like that, which is funny. Anyway, the outbreak of World War II makes everything a little weird around here, obviously. I guess this area is also major transfer points for the troops that are heading off to the Pacific Theater there.
Oh.
So this is when munitions factories were springing up around this area, and shipyards are brimming with work. This is the economy finally in this area, at least, really made a flip here. So this is a big deal, but this also had an influx of shitloads of people, because this is when people started coming from everywhere for factory work. This is, people abandoning the Dust Bowl, people coming from the South, people coming from everywhere, different people too, black people coming in more, just, wherever people who needed jobs came here, period. People came from Mexico, all over the place. So things changed a lot in the neighborhood. Billy said that new families meant new kids who didn't know him, and so that would lead to more fighting, obviously. He said, I awoke every morning knowing there was a good chance I was going to have to get into a fight with somebody. And his cousin said a tough place just became tougher. It didn't matter what it was. Take your school books, for example. I don't know when, but it became not cool to carry school books through the park, but that happened. Being smart or being a kid who was studied would get you made fun of. So if you were carrying school books, somebody would say something, and they'd maybe come up and knock your books out of your hands. He said, well, what are you going to do? And his cousin Mario said, you had two choices, fight or run. And you didn't want to run, not unless you were never going to come back. Well, then what the fuck are you going to do? Never
you're going to come back
again?
Right, now you're going to be made fun of. Or you're going to be a target now if you run.
That's it. So they said, seeing if all the guys sitting in the park, they said seeing if they could get someone into a fight was like entertainment for the day for those guys.
Yeah.
Now, his other cousin, Nick, said kids listened to him and he motivated them. He had an air of confidence and we followed, talking about Billy.
Yeah.
Things could get pretty tense if it looked like there was going to be a fight with some guys from another town, but Billy wouldn't flinch. He was like a field general even then. You can see these qualities are perfect for later on. He said, in our world, you got respect for not backing down no matter what. And we didn't lose many of those battles, although I've always said that a lot of writers who come around asking about Billy make too much of this. There was no knives, guns, pipes, or whatever. It was just fists and a lot of wrestling and swearing. Kids fighting.
Right.
That's all. They said it was just boys who were bored and had nothing to do with themselves. Quote, it was what the teenage boys of West Berkeley did back then to amuse themselves. I can't... That's what we were doing still in the 90s.
It hasn't gone away. It's still doing it now.
I don't know. Do the kids still look to fight now? Are they still looking for fights?
My son just left a school because it was every single day there was fights. Every day.
But was he in fights every day?
Not necessarily him. He just goes to school and goes the fuck home. But
that's what I mean.
Every day there's fights.
But there's there's a lot of places where you can't avoid being in the fights because they're just going to drag you into them. So what was it? Just people who were fighting? I'm trying to get an idea of the school of what it was.
Every day there's different kids fighting.
And
it's never the same kids.
Normal when I was growing up, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like I don't know if they still.
We fought plenty, but it wasn't every goddamn day.
You're always looking for it.
It could have happened every day. Somebody says the wrong shit.
I don't know. Yeah, we're always looking for it. But they said, or his cousin said, but it wasn't a gang. It was mischief. I mean, did anyone get arrested? I know Bill didn't. My mother would have beat the hell out of him, or out of the cop who brought him in. Either one.
Yeah.
They also said, this is his sister. I wouldn't have wanted to be that cop trying to drag Bill into our house. That's fucking fun. They said these boys were all doing this during World War II. You have to understand the times. Things are, a lot of these guys, dads are gone too and shit like that, so that doesn't help either. They said that the boys around the neighborhood were too young to enlist, but also bored because they're teenagers. What do you do at that point? Here. They said, you couldn't send them to war. They didn't want to do that yet, or they couldn't do that yet. They were too young. So they said things changed when they got to high school, what the sister said. It was another way to get out of the neighborhood. Bill, in his own way, thrived there. Of course, I guess it was always his own way. So I guess he had his own code, basically. Billy gave an interview in 1971 to Sports Illustrated here, where he talked about that. He said, I never push first, but if you pushed me, I'll push back harder. The day I start a fight is the day I lose one. That's what he said then. So in high school, he goes to high school here, and he enters in 1942, Berkeley High. And he said, they said it was, I guess this is a smaller high school than they have now. I guess they built a bigger one, apparently.
Yeah.
So he comes into high school, and I guess this is a good place to do for baseball here. He said that Billy was given a lesson in how class in America worked. It wasn't what he was expecting, but he knew it. He knew that he would be relegated to the vocational classes, while the sons and daughters of what they called the goats. The goats were the people who lived in the hills.
Yeah.
Goats live in hills. Get it?
Yeah.
Haha. So he said that they were the ones taking the college prep courses, and the kids from the shit neighborhood were learning how to weld, basically.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So it's funny too, and they always tell that's great for those kids. That's great for those kids. But the people that tell you that are people who are sending their kids to Princeton.
It's a nice place.
It's wonderful for your kid to learn to fucking weld. My kid's going to Yale, of course, but your kid can do that. Yeah, you hear that a lot now, and it's like, hey,
I got shit that needs welded.
Hey, don't fucking put a ceiling on my kid just because I'm not as rich as you. Fuck you. Right. You know what I mean? That's so fucking annoying. That drives me crazy now. So, yeah, Billy said the goats ran the school. They were on the student council, got the good grades, and went to college. They were the social mainstream, and we weren't. Yeah. Makes sense. He said, we were a little jagged and out of sorts then, one of his cousins said. And Billy was small, maybe 115 pounds. His teeth weren't straight, and he had a Roman nose, as people used to say back then, to be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they switched that term at some point. He said what they meant was that he had a very big nose. He was, no shit, really. He was respected in West Berkeley among the guys and the girls, too. But at that big, vast high school, it was like, who's this little runt and what's he wearing? Because he had hand-me-down clothes and he was poor and, all that kind of shit. They said the goats had expensive jeans and several pairs. They wore leather Navy flight jackets. Billy and his friends had one pair of discounted jeans and wore cheap Navy peacoats.
Yeah.
Billy wrote that he had one pair of jeans that he ironed so often they developed a sheen that glistened, which was not the look he was going for. It looked like shark skin jeans now he's got on.
Just all the grease and oil that's shining.
Yeah, rather than washing them, he just irons it out. That's not great. Heat it up and spread it out and smooth it.
Now it's shining.
Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. That's hilarious. So they said the West Berkeley boys, they said they were, that nobody noticed them. The rich kids didn't make fun of them. They just ignored them.
Yeah.
This had nothing to do with them.
Don't care about them.
Yeah. A longtime friend of Billy said, nobody gave a shit about us. We were meaningless. Mm-hmm. You guys are the people who'll be pumping my gas soon, is the way they had the attitude from the other kids. They called them shop boys, the ones because they did the shop classes. The ones from West Berkeley. They were even shunted to a detached wing at the school. Those fucking trailers they put that shit in.
The shop boys.
Yep. They called it the Industrial Arts Annex. Annex. In other words, a shit trailer.
Industrial arts.
A trailer in an unused corner of the yard is what that is.
The scrap metal boys.
To house these fucking
They
shop
should have
boys.
called them the scrap yard.
The scrap yard boys. Oh, man. So I guess the only place that everybody was equal, no matter what.
Baseball field.
The fucking sports field. Everyone's in the same uniform.
Yeah.
There's they all got the same hat. We all got the same jersey. And if I'm better than you on the field, doesn't matter what your fucking daddy does for a living.
Yeah.
I'm better than you. Fuck you.
Wow.
And that's the thing. That's always what sports have been. You can take the richest kid going all the prep courses, bring him down to Rucker Park and put him in there, and when he's getting dunked on and laughed at by everybody, none of that shit matters anymore.
We're all the same here.
Yep. from kids whose mom makes $12,000 a year, dunking on them. That's what you get.
Your
So
money won't buy you ankles.
no. And Billy proved that right away. And they said the Goats didn't like having the West Berkeley boys on the team.
The
Didn't matter.
scrapyard kids.
The scrapyard kids. It didn't fucking matter, man. He was first on the junior varsity team, and basketball is what he first played, which is weird because Billy's small. He's not a big guy at all.
Yeah, right.
One of his friends said Billy wasn't that skilled at basketball. I mean, he could dribble and shoot okay, but what really set him apart was that he played with such determined force. We won games because he would wear people out, diving for balls, fighting for rebounds, just running up and down the court and pounding the ball toward the basket. He was unstoppable and a tenacious force on defense, just the kind of kid you never want to play against. A huge pain in the fucking ass.
Love him.
I'm not bigger than you, and I don't have better skills than you, but I can outlast you. I can
Just
grind
out
you.
here bugging you. Yeah, I'll bug you all day.
Grind you into the fucking ground. So Billy ends up becoming a varsity starter eventually, and for his senior year, he was an all-county guard.
Oh.
And that's a county with a lot of people in it that could probably play, you know what I mean? So in 1945, the Berkeley Gazette praised the aggressiveness of, quote, the quick Billy Martin, who drove the Emeryville team to distraction with steals and rapid moves to the basket, they said.
Wow.
The newspaper used the word spark plug, and that's his whole career. That's what they're going to say. His sister said Billy was the kind of heart that drove the team. People would come to the games just to see what that Martin kid was going to do this time. He was always finding some way to win, even if it was just agitating some kid on the other team until the kid started making mistakes or fouling too much. That's all he could do. He was 5'9" by his senior year, which he's going to be about 5'10" in his life totally, which isn't that small, but he always looks smaller for some reason.
And he didn't grow much?
No, he was 5'10" as an adult.
Yeah,
that was
about done. Yep.
He kind of hunched over a little bit, too, had that going on. But I think that was kind of a Mickey Mantle affect, because Mickey Mantle had that weird hunch thing going on here. But on the basketball court, they said with his style of play, he rubbed the opponents the wrong way, and they would challenge him. They would say, I'll get you after the game, and of course, Billy wasn't going to hide.
Yeah.
So they said basically he'd play the whole game, and then afterwards he'd have to fight the other team, and they said he got suspended twice from the team for fighting guys on the other team after the game.
Attaboy.
But baseball was his real love and what he wanted to do. He just did basketball because it was in the off season of baseball, and he's got a lot of energy. So he made the Berkeley High varsity baseball team as a freshman. He's the only one to do that at the time. Didn't play a lot the first year. He played at third base. Then they moved him to second base, which is where that's his jam as he gets older. As a sophomore, and he hit .320. And eventually he became the shortstop and the most vocal. He's a leader on the team, basically. He said that the coaches let Billy just do what he wanted on the field because he was so good. They said this is his cousin, Billy knew what everybody on the diamond should be doing, and he had no problem telling us about it with regularity. Not after the fact, but before a play. Billy would walk in from shortstop, point at us, and say, hey, if they bunt, here's what you do, and here's what you do, and here's what you do. If they steal, then let's do this. He was thinking ahead of every play. Even then, he was a coach on the field.
Okay.
He was voted during his senior year. He was an all-county player, and he hit .450.
Oh.
Never has much power. He's a skinny little guy. Does not have a lot of pop even as an adult, but he can hit. They said a lot of singles and double and line drives and that sort of shit, and he was just a vicious base runner, too. He ran the bases hard and slid hard, and, he was a tough guy, basically. Now, they said the Kenny baseball park games were pretty rough, so those guys took no crap from anybody. So Billy was schooled in an attitude of how to play the game, and he took that to his high school game. He played like a hard-nosed adult, basically, as a child. They said that he willed his high school team to victories and would argue with umpires a lot as well. One of the neighborhood guys who played second base said that he was kind of his accomplice in the quarrels with umpires.
Yeah.
A, quote, a primitive cartoon drawing in the 1945 Berkeley High yearbook shows Billy with a long beak for a nose arguing face-to-face with an umpire. The umpire saying, out. I says he's out. Billy, who's wagging a baseball behind his back and wearing a baseball uniform, is answering, shut up, you tramp, he was safe. That's in the yearbook.
Shut up, you tramp.
Shut up, you tramp. That is fucking funny. They said never a dull moment with Billy. He also, in addition to baseball, he really likes young ladies a lot.
Great.
As a lot of young men do. He loved it, and the baseball field was a way to get himself
Their attention,
noticed.
yeah.
He said he still was poor and he still had shit clothes, but
Yeah, but they'll look at me.
he's a sports figure in high school now. So now they're like, oh, shit, yeah, they love him. And they said he grew into his body a little bit, looked less angular and stuff like that. They said also he's got a sense of humor, he's charming, he's got charisma, and a shitload of self-confidence, which young ladies love that shit. You could be a total jerk-off if you have self-confidence in high school. Young women will like you because they just think that you must know something they don't. It's weird. Kids are like that in general, not just ladies. If someone acts real confident in high school, you just imagine they must know something.
Yeah.
What do you know? You don't realize that some people are just jackasses, just jerk-offs.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows? So Billy would, if he liked a girl, he was all over her. That's how it worked. He was all over her. He was rejected a lot, but he didn't care. Didn't give a shit. His cousin said he knew a lot of girls. Geez, all of us would hang around him just to be around all the girls he knew. There were plenty of girls that would tell him to go to hell, but it sure seemed like an awful lot that were intrigued by him, just drawn to him.
Yeah.
And he went on like a sales theory of it, whereas, you can't get a yes unless you ask type of thing.
Sure, yeah.
You're going to get 20 no's, but you're going to get one yes.
Whatever.
Whatever. Eventually someone will say yes.
One of them's going to say okay, sure.
No shit. One of his sisters said they kind of liked his bad boy image. I'd say he's my brother and I love him, but he'll only go out with you for a while. He'll love you and leave you, but so many would go out with him anyway. They'd come around later and say, you were right, and I'd be like, he's 17. What do you expect? That's what they do.
Yeah, 17-year-olds are dumb.
He said that when he lost his virginity, he was naive and scared.
It was exciting, obviously, that it was going to happen, and you knew it was going to happen, but it was still like there was so much stress and anxiety leading up to that thing. It was frightening.
You just didn't want to embarrass yourself.
Or her. Yeah, the whole situation was terrible.
I never thought about them because I figured girls are like, in your teenage boy mind, they're the gatekeepers. They have the key to everything. So
she's got the whole.
What the fuck are you nervous about? Yeah,
she's fixing this for me.
That's what I mean. Well, they have all the control and all the,
She's about to put this train on the tracks.
They're pulling the levers, man. So it's like, what the fuck are you nervous about? Now as an adult, I get it, but.
Well, I was fucking terrified to make her hate me.
Yeah, I was terrified to be terrible at it. It's like, you don't
and I'm sure I was.
How could you not be? Who the fuck wasn't? Who wasn't? So Billy, in his autobiography, he said, quote, I didn't know where to put my Peter.
Yeah?
Yeah, he said, I thought the place was higher up.
Much lower than I thought this would go.
As a kid, you understand that because if you've never seen a vagina, there was no porn back then.
Right. Oh, that has to be you didn't miserable.
You had no idea. She'd take her pants off. You go, oh shit, hold on a minute. Let me get a.
What is going on there?
You'd want to put like a spelunker helmet on to get in there and really just take a look around because you could. Let me familiarize myself with what's that down there? Holy shit. We got these going on.
Wow, that's
look
so
at that
far
up top
down.
there.
Good Lord.
Okay, isn't that nice?
Get your legs up higher, Christ.
Yeah, what the hell? I thought you were kind of where my balls were is where it was. I don't know. So that's what he said. He said, I was trying to put it in her belly button.
Billy.
Not that high, Billy.
God
Jesus.
Damn, man. May as well put it in her mouth.
No shit. After we finally did it, I felt so bad that I had sinned that I cried.
Sinned?
Sin. That I never thought once about. Never thought once about sinning.
Yeah.
So his sister read that passage when Billy's book came out in 1980, and she said, quote, what a bunch of baloney. Next time I saw him, I said, you might have felt bad, but you certainly got over it. And he said, where did he get these things, he told to writers.
Yeah.
Bullshit. He didn't feel bad. That's what he put in his book to make him interesting, to make him seem like a nice kid. Billy insisted that he went to Father Moore after his first sexual encounter, though, and confessed. He said, quote, he confessed to adultery is what he said.
Oh.
Forgive me, Father, I've sinned, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I committed adultery. And he was like, how the fuck did you do that? When did you get married, Billy?
It's adultery, right?
And he said, well, I had relations with a woman who wasn't my wife. And they were like, that's not what that is.
It's not the same. That's just having a pretty decent Friday night.
And then to show how little this was really thought about affecting anything, the father said, 5 Our Fathers and 5 Hail Marys. That'll do.
And get the fuck out of here.
Fuck off. Yeah. Billy said, why? I was just a timid kid in high school. I didn't have one date the whole time I was in school. I asked girls to my senior year, and they both turned me down. But that's not true, but that's what he told reporters later.
His prom or just?
Senior year, during a senior year, or to his prom. That was his quote. I'm not sure. Now, the Oakland Oaks, which was a minor league team, Pacific Coast League back then, and that was the league that Joe DiMaggio played in before the Yankees found him and all that. So the Oakland Oaks had been sending scouts to Berkeley High School games during this time, but they were there to look at, not Billy, they were there to look at the center fielder, Babe Van Hewitt. Bill was his first name, but they called him Babe, obviously, who would eventually play minor league baseball but never make it to the majors. Okay. But the Oaks scouts, while they were there, noticed this fucking little shortstop that won't stop, and
with an elbow on his face.
With a fucking giant cock hanging from his fucking the middle of his face. He was viewed as a likely second baseman or third baseman, not a shortstop. Shortstop, you have to be the most athletic and have the best arm of the infield, so that's difficult. They thought that that would be a big deal. The scouts reported that Martin was a versatile player, that he would be a spark plug, and they had him on the radar. They were looking forward to seeing how he played in postseason games and all-star games and shit like that, so he could play against a better competition. Which is fun. They said then Berkeley played Hayward High School, whose top player was Pete Hernandez. Hernandez and Billy were jawing at each other early in the game, and the tension mounted. When the game ended, Billy claimed Hernandez ran at him and missed with a wild punch.
Oh.
And Billy knocked him cold with 3 punches to the face. Billy was pulled off of him, they said. They said then lots of other fights started on the field, some involving fans. Billy said he ran into the locker room.
Oh.
But his cousin Mario said, and his brother and his cousin Nick were at the game, and their recollections were different. Obviously, there's no film, so nobody knows what's what. But they said it was a little bit different. They said that Billy had told them that he was going to fight Hernandez. Period. Mario said everybody kind of knew and came to the game to see it. And it was a real good fight. I remember them trading punches for a while. The Hayward kid was a pretty good fighter, too. But they said Billy did win in the end. They said Dick Foster would have been proud, the boxer that trained him. Billy just cut him down, punch by punch, like a big tree.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he did. So, during a 1971 interview here, Billy recounted the conversation, talking about the Berkeley principal called him into his office and suspended him from the team for the rest of the year because of the fight. He said, the principal said I wasn't fit to represent the school. He said I should learn to turn the other cheek. I told him that in my neighborhood I wouldn't be alive if I turned the other cheek. He kicked me off the team as a disgrace to the school. The school was still going to be there. The buildings would be the same. But what about the boy? A baseball boy was a boy baseball was everything too. If I'd been a different kind of kid, I might be a criminal today. And he also called getting suspended from the team the most unfair thing that could have happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said no one would want him. None of the prospects would want him, and he wouldn't be able to impress them in the All-Star games, and he couldn't do anything here. But the thing is, in pro baseball, they looked at that shit as a plus, not a minus.
Yeah.
They want someone who'll fight, especially back then. Guys would spike you at second base.
Oh, God, there were so many fights.
And you had to play really tough, and you couldn't be afraid. They wanted a kid who wasn't afraid, period.
Yeah, there's unwritten rules that you don't violate, and when you do, there's bench-clearing brawls.
Yeah.
Now, not so much because people get suspended for that because we don't want to promote violence in our sport. But This used to be kind of a violent game sometimes.
I think a lot of the fights started with the physical shit that happened in the game. You know what I mean? There'd be a big play at second base, and then later on, the guy who slid in would get plunked by somebody, and that would cause him to charge them out, and then they would fight, and that's how these things started.
Now the fights aren't against the players; it's against the fucking umpires because they affect the game so hard. An umpire just got drilled in the fucking face today. Or yesterday. Day before?
What are they arguing about, though? It's all fucking on replay. You don't even have to argue with the ump anymore.
Right.
It's so stupid. That's
but
the thing. You don't even see that anymore.
He did have a very generous strike zone was the problem. And or not necessarily generous. He had a tight one for one team and a generous one for the other team. It was very obvious.
The fucking first time I went to a baseball game with the fucking instant replay, and there was a close play at first, and the manager calmly came out and told the ump to do the challenge. And they both stood there with their hands in their pockets staring at the fucking scoreboard. I said, well, that's it for baseball. That's over. That's over. You've taken the one exciting part of the game outside of a home run. You've taken the one exciting part of the game and you go, no, get rid of that. We don't need any contentiousness. Let's make this like
And just a missed call in general can make the game so fun.
It can make the game fun. I want to see guys argue, and then I want to see the manager, because that's a way that a manager can get his team going. There's a lot of strategy involved in all this shit.
Sure.
They've ruined it all. They've taken all the strategy.
They took the motions out and made it just be quote unquote skill and
it's a video game now.
Yeah. It's dumb.
You get the ball, you pitch the ball real quick before the clock goes out, and if that
there's no as you can.
There's no psychology of I'm gonna wait 3 seconds longer this pitch because that'll fuck up your rhythm. You can't even do that anymore. So it's just you catch the ball, you throw it, maybe you'll hit a home run. It's the stupidest fucking thing in the world. I cannot fucking watch baseball anymore. Can't do it.
This baseball is no fun to watch, I'll tell you that.
It's awful. When people say, oh, it's so much faster now. Great, it's boring. I don't care. A video game's faster too. Still don't want to watch anybody fucking play one. I'd like to get some emotional involvement here, and I can't do that by watching a home run derby. I just can't.
Transformers and Guardians of the Galaxies happens fast, but I don't like it.
It's fucking shitty. Yeah, I fell asleep during the pod race and
man,
Phantom
Star
Menace,
Wars
so
will never keep me awake.
Me.
So I'm done. Yeah.
No, ever since I was 5, I could just pass out cold. Any Star Wars, I curl right up.
I realize that this is the oldest man conversation we have, but.
Doesn't matter.
These things today suck.
That sucks. Some things are much better. That is much worse.
That's not it.
Tons of shit are a million times fucking better, but not that. That's one of the things that's bad. So they said that for Billy, this wasn't driving anybody away. It didn't cause any scouts to remove him from the list of prospects, basically. So he graduates from Berkeley High in June of 46. And has a tryout with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Okay. Now, this, by the way, Casey Stengel's involved here. Casey Stengel is the longtime manager of the Yankees that won countless World Series and also has more crazy quotes than Yogi Berra.
Was he?
He's hilarious, Casey Stengel.
Was he a coach for somebody
for everybody
down south?
Probably, and then he coached the Mets when they first were a team, and he was Casey Stengel's a legend, but Stengel is like a comedian. Like Yogi would say dumb shit and didn't know he was saying it because he's dumb, whereas fucking Casey Stengel would say crazy shit and know exactly what he was saying, and it was like brilliant shit that made sense, and he knew exactly what he was doing. He was a very, very smart guy. So Billy got a tryout for the Dodgers, and the Dodgers weren't very impressed with him. They said they might call him, but they never did. So they're like, yeah, that kind of sucks here. So Billy ended up going back to Berkeley and working at a slaughterhouse.
Oh, goddamn.
These are the options here for him. That's it. He rode the bus or borrowed a bike to ride to other towns to play in games, to play in these, rec league games type of thing. Sure. And he would ask around about pro tryouts. Do you know when they are? When can I get there? He just didn't know what to do with himself. He wasn't on a team, wasn't doing anything. So an old friend of his from the Kenny Park days was Red Adams, who was a trainer of the Oakland Oaks and also a longtime friend of Augie Gallons, one of the older guys he played with at the park. And this guy liked Billy. And he'd been watching him play for Berkeley High, and he convinced the Oaks manager, Casey Stengel, at the time, before he's the Yankee manager, to give Billy a tryout. So in this is a description that Stengel gives later on about now. He said, I had this college shortstop I was looking at in a workout. He was neat as a pin, did everything according to the book, wore his pants just so, put his cap on straight, and looked like something out of a Spalding's guide. I made up my mind to sign him for $4,000 when the club trainer, Red Adams, came along and said I was signing the wrong guy. Told me he had a much better-looking prospect. Show him to me, I said.
Yeah.
Well, he brings this kid out, and you never saw such a sight in your life. It was Martin here. You ought to see him. Uniform all dirty, one pant leg rolled up, the other falling down. Never saw anything like it before in my life. That's amazing. So Stengel worked Billy out, and they said he hit about 25 routine grounders that Billy fielded cleanly. Then he started hitting them harder and farther from Billy, and about 60 ground balls. Billy said, I caught them and threw them back at him with a smirk. I was looking at him like, is that all you got? I can do this all day. Casey turned to the other guy and said, quote, that ragamuffin, I've hit him so many grounders, I think he's trying to wear me out. He's not going to back off, is he? So Stengel was impressed. He's like, this son of a bitch is he's a tough little bastard.
Got some gumption.
Yeah. So, but he sent him home without a contract. Didn't sign him right then. So Billy went back to the slaughterhouse the next day.
Jesus.
But within a few weeks, an infielder with the Oaks here in Idaho Falls, they're one of their minor league teams, which is crazy. The Pacific Coast League had their own minor league teams. Minor league teams had their own minor league teams. That's how many teams there was. Hundreds and thousands of teams back then. There was, it was so many. Every little town had a baseball team back then. It was fucking wild. So they said somebody got hurt themselves in Idaho Falls, and an Oaks scout who had been watching Billy in high school told Casey Stengel and the Oaks owner, Brick Laws. That's a man's name, Brick Laws.
Brick Laws, yeah.
He said, offer Billy $200 a month. I bet he'll do it.
Yeah.
And they said they were aware of his suspension, and they knew that West Berkeley was a tough place. And they said, why don't we propose the contract include a clause stating that it could be nullified if Billy got into fights or was guilty of other transgressions.
Okay.
So they said the many of first attempts to write a misbehavior section into a Billy Martin contract failed as Billy refused to sign it. He wouldn't sign it. He said, I'm not fucking signing that. I'm going to fight.
Yeah,
this is pointless. Billy was desperate to get out of the slaughterhouse, but he said, I'm not fucking doing it. He said it didn't matter if that attitude cost him everything. He's not going to back down. Didn't give a shit. But they needed an infielder the next day, so they said, all right, fuck it. There you go.
Yeah,
just
whatever.
sign him. So they did it. So Billy, there he is. He's a professional baseball player.
Fantastic.
Signed his contract at a table at the corporate office of the Oaks. Billy held a pen as Brick Laws steadied the contract with his left hand. A newspaper photographer captured the scene of a smiling 18-year-old Billy Martin.
Hell yeah.
That is fucking funny. So in the photo, Billy's wearing a faded white shirt over an odd dark patterned V-neck sweater, the very same sweater from the picture of his 9th grade St. Ambrose CYO basketball team.
Over a V-neck.
That's what he's wearing. That's
Why
what
would he do that? The
don't
V-neck
know.
can go over the shirt, man. What's the matter?
Dark patterned. Did they say over? Was wearing a
Yes.
faded white shirt and over it. No. The
Oh,
shirt is
over
underneath.
it.
Over
Okay.
it. So you could
I thought
see it popping in the V-neck.
I thought you just said over a V-neck.
The point is he's still wearing the same sweater that he wore in his
same
freshman
clothes,
CYO thing. That's what he's
Wow.
got. That's how poor he is.
Yeah.
So he wasn't that impressive in Idaho Falls. He hit .254 while playing third base and racking up a shitload of throwing errors.
Yeah.
He made 16 errors in 32 games, which isn't great.
Yeah.
But he didn't get in any trouble. There was no reports
good.
of him brawling or fucking off or anything like that. Interesting. The coach, though, Eddie Leishman, said Billy read the field, read the other players, read the umpires, read the situation, and anticipated better than any 18-year-old I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. He said some players wait for the game to come to them, not Billy, that makes sense. Billy, by the way, is the only teenager on the roster at this point.
Oh.
Everybody on the average age of the team is 23.
Yeah, they should be.
He's still 18.
This is
yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting. They said there's one particular situation. This pitcher, John Connett, remembers. He said he was pitching And he said that Billy seemed to steal 2 big outs in a big moment. He said it was a 1-run game, and we were playing the Twin Falls Cowboys, a Yankee farm team that used to beat us like a drum. He said the Cowboys had runners on first and second with 1 out. The batter ripped a screaming 1-hopper down the third baseline. It was a foul. I'm sure it was foul, but Billy snagged it in his glove, stepped back and touched third base, then flipped the ball to second for a double play all in one motion. Then he dashed off the field, and we just all followed him off the field, too.
It's only 2 outs?
There was 1 out.
Oh, okay.
That's a double play.
So that
Now
was the
there's 3
third
outs.
down. Yeah. Okay. All right.
He said, this is like if you get a pitch that you think is the 4th ball, you start walking before the ump calls it, and hopefully he'll just go along with you. That's that basic thing here.
He just pitched it and hauled ass.
Yep. He said, we just followed him and ran off the field, too. It happened so fast, I think the umpires were stunned. Billy kind of made the call for them. End of inning, you know. What are they going to do? Call us back? I guess that's the outs. That's what he does. They said years later, Billy would resurrect his end-of-inning ploy with a twist, having his infielders run off the field after a routine force out when, in fact, there were only 2 outs. The idea was to fake any other runner still on base into thinking the inning was over, so they might relax
then
and
they
start
just
walking.
Tag 'em. Yeah.
Because you can walk wherever you want as a fielder, but you can't go out of the baseline. That's the thing.
Right, yeah.
So that's pretty fucking funny. The infielder, he said that the idea was to fake them out. The infielder who caught the ball for the force out would always absent-mindedly linger somewhere on the diamond with the ball in his glove. Everyone else would head for the dugout. When a base runner, seeing nearly everyone leaving the field, stepped off the base thinking the inning was over, at that moment, Billy's infielder with the ball would tag him for the 3rd out and the inning was over.
Nice.
Billy said it always worked, except when the stupid umps would get fooled too and not be looking as we were making the tag, which is hilarious.
Look, stop.
Oh, God. So the Idaho Falls Russets, who he's playing for, the Potatoes.
Yeah, because it's Idaho Falls. It's
yeah.
Fucking, that's potato country down there.
The Russets, they call them. Those little potatoes, little brown hats, little fucking uniforms with eyes coming off them. That's just a weird name to call a bunch of men. The Russets. They were 53 and 76, good for second to last place. Mm-hmm. Billy enjoyed this, though. He loved it. He's playing baseball every day. Thought it was awesome. He did not like the remoteness of eastern Idaho and thought that, this kind of sucked, although it did allow him to save a bunch of money from his salary because there was nothing to do or nowhere to go.
Sure.
So as soon as he got to West Berkeley in the fall, he used his money that he'd saved up for what reason?
What reason?
Fix his nose.
Oh, is that right?
That's what he uses his first dollar for.
He
That's
hates
amazing.
it so much.
It's all everybody ever sees on him. Even in the yearbook, when they're saying good things about him, he still looks like fucking Toucan Sam. We can't have this.
Oh, poor Billy.
Yep. Oh, a friend of his says, I remember picking him up at the hospital after that operation. But truthfully, cosmetic surgery was so bad back then, they only cut his nose down a little bit. It wasn't that obvious of a change. It would be
took the tip off of it?
just shave a little of the bump off. It would be 2 or 3 more operations later before his nose got noticeably smaller. I drove him home from those 2.
Oh, poor Billy.
Good God. He had a good spring training in 1947, but he got sent to the Class C Phoenix Senators of the Arizona-Texas League.
Oh, boy.
Ugh, that sounds terrible. It sounds
Didn't
hot
even know
and
those
dusty.
existed.
Fuck no. Martin felt he should have remained with the Oaks, and he told Stengel, but the manager told him, well, prove me wrong then, Billy.
Yeah.
So Billy got to the Phoenix Senators here in the spring of 47. It's a higher level of minor league ball, although he didn't want to go there. He wanted to stay with the other team. He had been in the Oaks preseason training camp, practiced along 5 major leaguers, including Vince DiMaggio, Joe's brother. He played 10 seasons as well. Dude, there's also Dom, his other brother, who is a great. Dom DiMaggio was actually a really good fucking baseball player.
What about Vinny? How'd he do?
Played for 10 years in the National League.
Not bad.
Pretty good. But when your brother is fucking Jolton Joe DiMaggio, if Ken Griffey had 2 little brothers, if Ken Griffey Jr. had 2 little brothers, would you know who they were really, probably?
No.
What's Patrick Swayze's brother's name? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I do know that.
Yeah, he's an actor. That's what I mean. I've seen him in 30 things. I can't remember his fucking name. That tells you something.
I think he was on a dating show.
He was on a bunch of shit. Yeah, he was back in the day.
Yeah.
He was on a reality show. He's been on
Was
tons
he
of
on
shit.
Millionaire Matchmaker? He was.
Something like that. Yes,
That's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
on
we saw him
MTV.
on there.
Yeah.
And then there was, he's been in a lot of stuff. He looks too much like Patrick Swayze. It's creepy.
Way too close. Yeah.
Way too close.
But he's just not near as handsome. It's the hair. He's got a big fucking square forehead.
He looks
Just
like a
not good enough.
caricature of Patrick Swayze.
Yeah,
is what he looks like.
Somebody tried to draw him from memory. It's that old. Joke.
If you drew Patrick Swayze, a Mr. Incredible version of Patrick Swayze, you'd get his brother.
You'd get him, yeah.
Just everything accentuated a little bit. So
I feel like it's Dom.
it's Dom?
I think so.
I think it's something with a D. I think it's something with
Dom.
a D too. Doesn't matter. So
It doesn't matter.
either way, he's playing with the DiMaggio's brother, and now he's 19, and he felt like he should remain with the Oaks. He said, this is ridiculous here. I should be playing that. He said, this is an insult. Billy, it's not. The assignment to Phoenix wasn't an insult, but he took it as an insult.
Sure, because this place sucks.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be there.
He told Stengel, you sure blew this one. And Stengel said, prove me wrong. Let's do it. And Billy said, you fucking wait and see, asshole. We'll see.
Yeah.
So he's playing day games in the summer in Phoenix.
Hey.
This is horrifying.
Yeah.
Horrifying. Wow. He said it was horrible playing and living conditions.
Yeah.
Many of them boarded in barracks right behind the right field fence. So you know how hot it is than that?
Oh,
no air conditioning, just in a barracks. Now, because I think that's over, they built that over where they had the German internment camps. That's
I don't even know where
what I'm
those
saying?
were.
They over in Scottsdale there. They probably
Where the Firebirds played?
in that area up more. There was camps around that area.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
In fucking
We
Arizona?
don't need to look that up right now.
It doesn't
but
matter.
Yeah, we got like a 10-part Billy Martin
What
series
the
here.
fuck?
There was definitely internment camps in Arizona. Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Fuck yes. So they Martin loved it there though. Well, he thrived there. I don't know if he loved it. So in 1947, May 15th, 1947, the Arizona Republic.
Oh, yeah.
Check it out. Check this picture of Billy out.
Look at that shit there. Look at that nose.
Yep, little Billy there. His
Dang.
nose is way bigger than it is later on.
Yeah.
It's still a hook, man.
That thing is crazy.
Wow, the horn. Almost cracks 500 to lead AT League is what it says.
Dang.
Jesus. Billy Martin of the Phoenix Senators heads the list of hitters in the first official compilation made by the Arizona-Texas League, released today through the office of the president of the league. The figures cover games up to May 5th. Martin's batting average was .489.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Almost
That is
500. And my Christ, how old was he then?
19.
My word.
19. He's leading the league. The
1940 something?
closest behind him is .462. There's like 6 guys hitting over 400, and he's one of them. He's crushing. He also has 4 home runs, which is second in the league as well. He wore uniform number 1, which is his jam for the rest of his career there. He tried to always get that. He hit .393 with the highest average in organized baseball in 1947. Yeah. So he finished with the highest average in organized baseball in the majors, the minors, anywhere.
Wow.
.393. Yeah. He drove in 173 runs, too.
Holy.
Which is huge, and was named the league's most valuable player. So he said, you wanted me to show you? I fucking showed you. There you go, asshole.
There it is.
When the team's regular second baseman was injured in a fight with an opposing player, Martin was moved from third base, and he's going to remain a second baseman till the end of time at that point. Okay. Phoenix's season ended before the Oaks. They had a shorter season, and so Martin was called up to the Oaks. So they said that, this is from the book, fights in Arizona-Texas games were almost as common as the 7th-inning stretch, and while Billy did not lead the circuit in fisticuffs, unlike in Idaho Falls, he did not shy away from 1 or 2 when it seemed unavoidable. Yeah. It was a punishing environment designed to separate those who liked baseball from those who planned to make it a vocation. Mm-hmm. It's not known what Billy thought of all this, but this is much documented. In his first game for the Phoenix Senators, he had 6 hits. The next day, he had 4 more hits and drove in 5 runs.
My God.
Within 2 weeks, the Phoenix newspaper had run a feature story on the Senators' new third baseman. He started the season as the 8th hitter and quickly moved up to the 3rd spot. At midseason, he was hitting over 400 and had become a vocal assertive team leader, despite giving away 4 or 5 years to most of the players. Arky Biggs, A-K-R-Y, Ackery, not Arky, A-K-R-Y, Ackery, was the team's manager who played second base until a game just past midseason when a Yankees farm product named Clint Courtney, a catcher who'd been released from the U.S. Army 2 months earlier and had already earned a reputation for Spike's high slides, slammed into Biggs at second and cut him. Biggs, like many other players in the league, did not need to be coaxed into a fight. With the baseball in his right hand, he punched Courtney in the face. Awesome. Fuck it. Why break your hand? Use the baseball.
With a ball in his hand.
Just bashed him with the ball, essentially. A fracas followed that was not even eventful, except for the fact that Biggs came out of it with his right hand swollen, painful, and broken. Should have used the ball more.
Yeah.
Phoenix needed a second baseman, and there's Billy. So that's how he got in there. So Ackery. So there you go. They said the day after Biggs was injured, Courtney spiked another Phoenix player at third base, which obviously didn't go over well with the Senators. The first player sprinting across the diamond from his second base position to jump Courtney was Billy. Mm-hmm. They would tussle a couple more times that year, and again in the major leagues in 1952 and in 1953. So Christ, they have more fights than Ali and Frazier, these two.
Incredible, yeah.
The 2 fights were hardly big news, they said, but one brawl between Billy's Senators and the Globe Miami Browns. Globe Miami.
Yep.
Ooh, imagine spending the summer there. Spilled into the stands and was not quelled until police threw tear gas onto the diamond.
Wow.
Ever seen that before in a baseball game?
They gassed the... That's crazy.
And then once everything cleared up, they resumed playing.
Oh,
wiping their eyes and shit.
Yeah.
From tear gas.
Thank God this is outside.
Man, so he was having a great season, though, and it's a big deal because people are going to look at him here. So they said there were some issues as he acclimated to second base, but the shorter throw wasn't one of them. They said at the plate, he had great batsmanship, 230 hits in 1947. He hit 392, 48 doubles, 12 triples, 9 home runs. Killing it. Doing great. So he... that's how that goes. Now, he was also basically shaping who he is at this point here. In 1947, he chose jersey number 1, which is a big deal, and he gets second base. This is when kind of his later things are coming into firming up, starting to, the paint is starting to dry here. He played every inning of every game all the time. He opposing players who they say encroaching into the second base area were treated like marauding invaders and dealt with punitively. Meanwhile, he found comfort in the inconvenience of the Arizona-Texas League logistics. They said strangely at ease in the conditions that were wearisome to other players trying to survive the heat and circumstances of Arizona, Texas, and Mexico.
Yeah.
So, right away, when he starts playing with Oakland here, he wins 2 games with 2 different doubles, and the fans immediately love him.
Yeah.
When he's not playing, he's up Casey Stengel's ass wanting to learn about his reasoning for every decision.
Yeah.
Which is a good sign for a player. Stengel was impressed with that because he said when he was playing for the New York Giants, he followed John McGraw around and asked him why he did this and why he did that, and everything like that. So they grew very close. Everybody said it started to resemble a father-son relationship between Stengel and Martin.
Okay.
Stengel had no children, so, he liked hanging around, having Billy hanging around. According to a Martin biographer, one of them, there's been many, he said the 2 men, the punk kid and the old-time ball player, would develop a bond that would not be broken for a decade. Binding them was their deep love for the game of baseball.
Yeah.
The Oaks second baseman who was with the team, the backup basically, said he was glued to Casey. I don't think it was to get in Casey's good graces because neither of them was like that. That's his quote. I think Billy was trying to learn what was going on inside Casey's head as the game was going on, both of them had real active brains. Billy was a nonstop stream of questions for the old man. Okay. Makes sense. So this relationship here has often been described as the father and son, like I said.
Sure.
They said it was, and you know, that's also people writing about it. That's an easy way to put it. They said that Stengel was a man who lived for baseball as Billy did. He had an aggressive and irascible temperament, but he also had a cunning, measured, and analytical side. That's the thing. He, like I said, he knew what he was doing when he was saying crazy shit. Stengel's worn, creased face was called clownish by some, but others saw in it his continence and an expression of knowing worldliness. For Stengel, who's much older than Billy here, he was a professional baseball player before World War I, so he's been around a lot.
Yeah.
He said he wasn't a man to be taken lightly. Stengel was. Billy also knew that Stengel, for instance, had done what Billy hoped to do. He played professional baseball, so that's what he wanted, to follow him around and learn about shit from him. So they said later in the 1940s, when Casey began managing the Yankees, many of his stars would break curfew knowing that their manager, who was a lot older than them, was not staying up to catch them, basically.
Right.
Casey was a lot older. Yes, they were like, just wait past midnight. He'll be out cold. Fuck it.
Yeah.
That's it. Casey devised a different strategy. When he went to bed on the road, he tipped the hotel elevator operator, gave him a new baseball, and told him to get autographs from all the players who come in late.
Oh, really?
That's what he would do. He goes, have him autograph this, and then he'd give it to Casey the next day, and he'd go, okay, that guy, this guy, that guy, there we go. That is fucking hilarious.
Very smart.
Very smart. Don't sign that asshole's ball. That's, yeah. They said that Billy looked at Casey and probably saw an older version of himself, basically.
Yeah.
In Billy, Stengel saw the son he never had. He said,
nice.
Not immediately, but after a while here, he always called him kid and that kid, always. And everybody in Oakland started calling him Casey's boy. He made the Oaks roster in 1948, but didn't get a lot of regular playing time as they had a former major leaguer at each position, and he didn't want to use this young ball player until he was ready when he had major leaguers. So the manager had Martin sit on the bench next to him as he pointed out every nuance of what he was thinking and what was going on.
Yeah.
And which is very fucking interesting. That's pretty cool to be able to do that. Here is a story from the Berkeley Gazette. Will Hafey hails Billy Martin. Okay. Mm-hmm. It says, Will comes from a family of ball players, of whom the most noted, of course, is Chick Hafey. Oh, of course. You've had posters on your walls of him since you were, what, 5?
For years, shit.
For years, yeah. For years a standout with the St. Louis Cardinals, Chick today owns and operates a 500-acre ranch at Calistoga. Nor is Will the last of the athletes from the Hafey family. His brother Tom Hafey, also an acorn hurler, a ranch, has a 2.5-year-old son, Robert Michael, who promises at least to be the mightiest of all the big Hafeys. Already he's chinning himself on the clothesline in the backyard at the Hafey home. Is he working out back there? What 2-year-old works out?
Yeah.
Will Hafey's top hobbies are duck hunting, fishing, and listening to popular music. His fishing companions are a bunch of all these other fucking people from the Acorns' large Belgian outfielder Maurice Van Robeys and Bob Sell, the traveling secretary. The trio will forget a warm Saturday last autumn, or never forget a warm Saturday last autumn when the Oaks were idle in deference to the Cal Navy game. On a cabin cruiser voyage in the upper reaches of the bay, their motor failed in the rugged, Carquinez Straits, and they were forced to paddle their way home using brooms for oars.
Okay.
They said, what does Will think of his fellow townsman, young Billy Martin, who's slated to play third for the Oaks? He said, say, that kid can't miss. He has everything. Gee, I sure wish I could run like he does. Yeah. Good God. Okay, there's that. So, Billy, all right, here we go. He is going to meet a young lady here.
Yeah.
Yes. There was a lot of seats where there'd be a lot of young women that would sit and watch the game, one of which was Lois Elaine Berndt. She got seats from Billy who she known since the 9th grade.
Yeah.
Lois is 4 years younger than Billy, but has known him for years. They dated on and off for a while and remained in constant contact since Lois was best friends with the girlfriend and eventual wife of Billy's good friend Howard Noble. Lois was from a neighborhood north of San Pablo Avenue, though she didn't live far enough up the hill to be called a goat, he said. So she was okay to talk to. Yeah. After Billy's relationship with longtime high school girlfriend Bobby Pitter ended, remember he said he never had a girlfriend?
Yeah, there she is.
Yeah. So Lois became Billy's permanent guest at Oaks games. He would leave tickets for her and her family, which would sometimes be awkward because Billy's sisters and his mother rarely approved of any of Billy's girlfriends, and that included Lois. Yeah, dude, Italian moms are brutal with the fucking girlfriends. They are the worst. Oh, my mother, Sarah's the only person I've ever been with that my mother likes.
Oh, is that right?
Literally. She hated everybody.
Takes a while.
Everybody. It's fucking, good Lord, it was brutal.
Yeah.
Hated everybody. She used to, like, when I first moved to Arizona, a girl from New York used to call there all the time, and she'd, like, lie to her and tell her I wasn't home, and I was out with he's out with his new girlfriend. Like, that's what they do. This girl, one time I answered the phone, and she was crying. Mom said you have all. I was like, what are you talking about? I've never heard once that you called. She's like, I've called 50 times. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Wow.
Nice, right? Nice fucking game. Now, Pat, the sister, about Lois, said, we always thought she was kind of stuck up. She was never warm to us. She wouldn't really talk to my mom, and it was hard to not talk to my mom. She probably didn't want to get cursed at and said, how you like my ass? Lois asked 60 years later to recall her first interactions with Billy's family, and she said, quote, I'm not getting into that. Let's just say we were on opposite sides with Billy in the middle. I had one view of him. They had another view. Mm-hmm. She did say Billy was attentive to her. She said he was always a gentleman, opening doors, holding your chair for you, putting his coat around you if you were cold or it was raining. You know, he had this reputation for being rough and a fighter. He wasn't like that. Get him off the field and away from baseball, and he was quiet and sensitive.
Love bug.
Love bug. How many times have you heard that about people who are like mass murderers and everything else?
It's a real angel.
Real nice.
Of, what they do.
Snuggly. Yeah, snuggly. Yeah. Then she also said, Lois said, of course, getting Billy away from baseball was never easy, that's the thing. Get him away from baseball, fine. But Lois, like many others, saw two sides of Billy. He was affectionate and wanted to go to the out-of-the-way places where no one knew him. Right. She said, we would take long walks all the time. We would talk about what we wanted to do with our lives. Billy especially had a lot of dreams. Billy wanted to see the world. Metaphorically, he wanted to set it on fire, but Billy dreamed of coming back to Berkeley to live without the sizzle. See, he wanted to make a good living, be a professional baseball player, but then go live in Berkeley still and act like a normal person.
Out of his mind.
For a while, yeah. Now, Casey Stengel also is a funny guy and all that shit, but he wants you to buckle down when it's time to buckle down. You wouldn't have tons of World Series wins unless he did that, you know?
Sure.
He had rules, and he had, it was his way or the highway, essentially. So in early 1948, Casey was watching Billy turning double plays at second base, and he stopped the drill. He thought Billy was wasting too much motion. He wanted his second baseman to turn the double play with as few moving parts as possible, and he demonstrated how. He said, forget the fancy Dan stuff. Fancy Dan stuff. And Billy thought about it, and he said, well, my way is just as good because I have faster hands and feet. So I can waste motion and still do it faster than a guy who has perfect technique, see?
Sure.
And Casey said, kid, you ain't on the floor jitterbugging. Anybody out there who coaches youth baseball, say that to one of the kids when they're doing something and see what the perplexing look they give you. Say, hey, kid, you ain't on the floor jitterbugging here. They would have no idea what any of that means.
What is a jitterbug?
What are you talking about?
Feels weird to say out loud. I don't like the word.
Yeah, jitterbugging. What does that mean? Is that humping somebody? What's that? I don't get it. Is that fingering a girl? What are we talking about?
It feels bad.
Billy said, it just means you're not dancing. Yeah. Don't knock it just because you can't do it, is what Billy said. The other players waited for Casey to yell at him, and they were like, oh, shit, they're going to kick him off the field.
Yeah.
Instead, Casey turned away, and they said he was hiding a smile with his hand. He thought it was hilarious. He's like, this little fucking bastard. He said, it's the same kind of shit I would have said in 1910 later on, is what he said. Yeah. He said, he just laughed. So Casey had Billy sitting with him while he pointed out everything that we talked about earlier, and including how some of the infielders were tipping which kind of pitches were about to be thrown by moving left or right on the diamond too soon. Billy watched and listened as Casey predicted every pitch, breaking ball, fastball, changeup, all by watching the shortstop and second baseman. They said it's common for middle infielders to change their position on the diamond on most every pitch, but a stealthy infielder doesn't move until the pitcher's in his windup, so the batter can't read the movements and know where he's going, which makes sense. Stengel, though, would wait for a slip-up of technique to jump on Billy and teach him about seeing everything, basically. Finally, in the second month of the season, Casey inserted Billy into the starting lineup, and Billy was pissed because he was hitting eighth.
Oh, he didn't want to be there.
He said, quote, the groundskeeper's probably hitting higher than me. I hit 392 last year.
You got me at eighth? Come on.
It's right before the pitcher. What the fuck?
Right.
And Casey's response was, quote, get a bat, Dago, and shut up. All right, fine, he did.
Get a bat and swing eighth.
Yep, he said Billy walked on in the on-deck circle, and they said, Stengel said he tried not to laugh, and he said, that little punk, I love him. I love that little shit. So that's fucking funny. He assigned veteran players to work out with and be roommates with Martin on the road to try to mature him a little bit
smart.
here. Yeah, which is interesting. One of his roommates, Mel Duzabo, was a good hitter and a lifetime 300 minor league hitter who helped Martin at the plate a little bit. Yeah. Then there was Cookie Lavagetto, who was another infielder and a former Dodgers star, who was able to help Martin with fielding and advise him on, what to expect in the future. But this Lagadani, this is a different guy. I'm sorry, I got my guinea names messed up here. There's another guy here, another roommate named Lodagiani, and he was 32. And Lodagiani said Billy was still pretty raw. Casey was right to try to change the way he turned the double play. We worked for hours doing it more efficiently. Mm-hmm. So he said this included teaching Billy to stop winding up to make the throw from second to first. Power wasn't as important as getting the ball on its way quickly before the oncoming runner could prevent the relay.
Yeah.
So, that's how they did it. They said instead of bar hopping, he would put a pillow in front of a full-length mirror in the hotel room and have Billy practice his double play pivot by hopping over it time and time again.
Smart, yeah.
As a base, yeah.
Lavagato
also recalled how the major leaguers, basically, middle infielders know that advancing base runners are trying to knock them down and kick the shit out of them, basically. Yeah. And during the 40s, this was completely normal. It was normal until 20 years ago when they said, hey, this is bad. It was part of the game. When I was a kid in Little League, they said, you go there, you fucking tackle that fucking second baseman or shortstop who's trying to get a double play. Take him the fuck down. They didn't even want you to slide there. Just throw your body at the ground at their legs. Take them the fuck out.
Put your fucking hands in the air. Jump if you have to.
It was considered lazy if you didn't. If you just slid. You know what I mean? He said that the infielder's only defense was the ball. And Lavagetto told Billy that if a base runner didn't slide to get out of the way, Billy should aim his double play pivot throw right at the runner's forehead.
Fucking face.
Get the fuck out of the way. And he did it.
Get down or you're going to get hit.
That's it. He said it would induce a slide in a hurry, and it might be good as a relay as well. Yeah. Billy bragged of doing that all throughout the 50s, and he taught in his infielders to do it for 30 years after that too.
I mean, it's the way things were done. I've never seen a second baseman jump to get. They will force you to go down if you're about to.
Oh, if you're standing to block the throw, you're getting in the forehead. I'm not going to throw around you. Fuck it. I'm not going to get that guy out, but you're not going to do that bullshit again, and neither's anybody on your fucking team.
You're going to take one off the noggin.
That's it. Billy said he'd make me. This is wild. He'd make me sit in a restaurant and stare at a wall without blinking my eyes. I'd practice that for hours. Try it sometime. It isn't easy. He had me do that because he felt that when you were up at the plate, the ball would go by so fast that if you accidentally blinked, that fraction of a second would be enough distraction to make you miss the ball.
Yeah.
So now Billy got increased playing time when the injuries happened this year. He ended up the season with a .277 batting average, 3 home runs, and 42 RBIs, and becomes a team leader.
Sure.
He's active in brawls on the field,
Wow.
and he's constantly talking from the dugout.
That's our guy.
Constantly, which is fun. This is back then, the players used to just yell insults at each other from dugout to dugout.
Yeah.
Now they're all like, "Oh yeah, we have the same age," and like, "Are you looking at a house and fucking there?" "Oh, so am I." "Yeah, that's cool. We could be neighbors." Back then, it would be like, "Hey, motherfucker, I'm gonna fuck your girlfriend after I spike you." That's what they would say back then. It was way different than it is now, which makes sense because it wasn't a bunch of guys with $50 million talking to each other.
Yeah.
What are you mad at nowadays? The fuck are you mad at?
Yeah, you have all the money in the world. Everything's great for you.
The whole world just folds before you and kisses your dick all day long, all night long. No, you're set for life. There's no reason to be pissy.
Yeah.
Back then, you were scrapping for whatever you could get.
Yeah.
Different fucking deal here. So we'll do a little more here. We'll wrap this up. Billy and others noticed that Casey's leadership style, Casey Stengel, was interesting. They said when a fight broke out in Portland one night, which was very common, as it was back then, Billy charged from the dugout to join in. He'd been in the middle of 2 fights of his own that season already, one that involved his future boss with the Yankees, Al Rosen, but this time he was sprinting to help a teammate.
Oh.
Approaching the diamond, Billy saw that a half step behind him, dashing from the dugout, was fucking Casey Stengel, 58 years old. When they both reached there, he thought Casey was there to try to break it up.
Yeah.
He said Casey fucking dove in the pile and started punching people. 58 years old, he's in there. He said it was wild. He said sometimes something like that really affects a team, the willingness to mix it up. He said, I saw how the guys reacted. We all said, he really does have our backs. That's loyalty.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be like that. Now, the Oaks ended up winning the PCL pennant and the Governor's Cup.
How about it?
Martin's reward for the championship was a new car bought by the owner.
Wow.
Yep, fucking bought him a new car because he was so happy for him. Stengel ended up getting the manager's job with the Yankees, leaving Billy behind. And he's like, oh, my God, all I ever wanted to be is a Yankee, and now he's going to go do it and leave me here. So it's interesting. Now, his new manager is Charlie Dressen, but he said Billy won him over with his hard work. When the season started in 49, Billy was in a funk, dispirited and feeling deserted, the book says. He had spent the winter waiting for the Yankees or their new skipper to call. His cousin Nick said Billy was devastated that Casey had left. You know, Billy was a vulnerable guy. He was easily hurt. I didn't hear him criticize Casey, but out of nowhere he'd ask, you think maybe he's waiting for somebody to get hurt? You think maybe he'll call? And I'd say, maybe, Billy. So Billy spent time with Lois in Berkeley and other women in other places, because that's how Billy rolls. Hung out with his friends and just waited, basically. Tried to see something.
Yeah.
So, but playing this year, he learned how to steal signs, which is good. That's valuable.
Yeah.
Learned how to try to force the other team into game-deciding mistakes, that kind of shit. He improved his hitting to .286 with 12 home runs and 92 ribbies, which is great. Now, this manager, they said, was not unlike Stengel. They said he was a scrappy player in the National League who liked old-school baseball.
Yeah.
Billy didn't like Dressen when he first met him because he thought he was arrogant. But then he saw that his new manager had a strategic outlook on baseball that Billy never really thought about. Dressen believed all games were won by the team making the fewest mistakes.
Okay.
And he was convinced that a zealous, aggressive style of play, stealing, hitting, and running, taking the extra base, would force the other team into pivotal game-losing mistakes and errors, which is true.
Rattle him a little.
He said you got to put pressure.
Yeah.
He said also that stealing the catcher's signs he loved. He said Dressen was pretty good at stealing the third base coach's signs and the catcher's signs. Billy thought that was awesome, like a magic trick.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't realize it was another layer of the game that's even more fucking duplicitous and
right.
you know, Even shadier. I like this.
Yeah.
This is good.
Gross. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is good. I like being a deceptive little motherfucker. So, yeah, he liked that. He thought that was great. And he said you should use anything you can to beat people, basically. He played 172 games that year. So he played all the games. Stengel's managing the Yankees to the 1949 American League pennant and World Series championship.
Nice.
Yeah. He would talk of Billy Martin to the New York press, too.
Really?
So a lot of people thought that Billy Martin was going to be a Yankee pretty soon.
Right now, yeah.
And on October 13th, 1949, Billy Martin and a fellow Oakland player, Jackie Jensen, were both acquired by the Yankees.
How about it?
Yep. So October 13th, 1949, a promotional blimp that used to circle Oaks Park with a local advertising message instead said Oaks players Jackie Jensen and Billy Martin sold to Yankees.
How about that?
And the crowd cheered because they were happy for them.
Yeah.
And that was fucking nice. So they're going there. He's going to be a fucking Yankee, which is pretty goddamn cool. He's jacked as can be. Billy said he'd never been east of Texas. Wow. Joined the Yankees and also stopped. Before he did that, though, he stopped off at the hospital in San Francisco for, quote, another nose operation.
I don't want to go to the Bronx looking like this.
His friend said, but at least this one worked. It was finally smaller.
Oh, that's great.
Is fucking hilarious. So, yeah, he took off. By the way, Billy's friend, Billy Castle, recalls being in the house, his mom's house, just before Billy took off. He said, this is fucking great. His mom gave him a pep talk like only she could. Practically all 4-letter words. This is great. She said, now listen, you don't let any of those fucking New York big shots give you any fucking bullshit. You know how to fucking play baseball just as fucking good as they fucking do.
Nice, Mom.
Billy just sounds like my mom. Billy just looked at her, and when she turned away, he looked at me and smiled. But I think he heard her. So here he goes. He's going in. This is a lot of younger players coming in here because Mickey Mantle has not played yet.
Yeah.
He's not been a major leaguer, really. So, I mean, you got a kid Mickey Mantle. You got young Whitey Ford.
Yeah.
You got Yogi Berra, who's been there a while and is a part of the team here. But it's a lot of future big guys that he's going to come up with that are his class, essentially.
Awesome.
He reports in February 1950 to a spring training instructional camp in Phoenix to work out some fundamentals. And and tomorrow we will talk about, or next week we'll get into him going to the dog track with Yogi Berra.
Oh.
And now we're still going to get into a lot of nightlife and a lot of crazy shit and a lot of fighting. We have
dog
raised
track
Billy
in New York. Yeah.
Yep. We've in Phoenix.
Oh,
for spring
that
training.
one.
For spring training, yeah.
The one downtown that used to be there. Wow.
Nothing else to do.
Yeah. Wow.
So we will get into this next week basically we've raised Billy up from a pup.
Yeah.
We've brought him up and now he is deposited on the Yankees' doorstep.
Incredible.
That is part one. And now, good God, is it going to get wild because we're going to lots of booze and lots of partying and lots of crazy stuff is going to happen here. We'll get to we'll get to all that next week, I promise you. And that said, definitely head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Give us a nice, I'm sorry, that's where you get tickets. What am I talking about?
Shut up and
That's tickets for live shows, merchandise, do all that stuff. Then give us a nice review on whatever app you're listening on. I think I mixed those up. Give us 5 stars on whatever app you're listening to. Don't know why, but it helps. So
it does. Yeah.
Get in there and give it a shot. Hang out with us. It's a lot of fun. And also follow on social media at Crime and Sports. Definitely get yourself some Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
Patreon.com/CrimeInSports is where you get all of your bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above, you're going to get so much stuff. First of all, hundreds of bonus episodes you've never heard. You can binge immediately upon subscription. So there's that. That's fun. Then you get new ones every other week.
Oh,
which is also great. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you get it all. This week, what we're going to talk about for Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about the Kermit Washington, Rudy Tomjanovich incident that happened in the 70s. A crazy fight on a basketball court that really just changed people's lives. It's a really wild story. Then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about the history of United States executions.
Oh, boy.
Back from the 1600s we'll talk about, and
Great.
up to modern day, the different types and ways and whys. So we'll get into all of that. That is shutupandgivememurder.com. Or no, God damn it, patreon.com/crime and sports.
There it is.
I was looking at the wrong thing on my notes. Okay, so definitely do that. Sign up for that. You also get everything we do ad-free.
Oh, my God, what a deal.
All the shows we do ad-free on that. And you get a shout-out at the end of the show, which happens now. Jimmie, hit me with the names of the people who would never, ever, ever say that my mom has a nice ass. Put it that way. There you go. I don't know. There you go. Hit me with them right now.
This week's executive producer, Alana Zemmel, my favorite Canadian, Jason Fuller, Gary Howard, Gary and Jason. Thank you both.
Thank you for coming.
Great to see both of you. It was amazing.
Fuck yeah. Awesome.
Anna Mueller,
nice to see you guys
Phil,
out there.
and David Bayer, both of them. Jennifer Widner, thank you all so much for what you're doing. You're fantastic. Voltrove, other producers, we got Voltrove Electronics. They didn't give a name. Just donated in a business name.
On.
So that's fine. Peyton
Buy
Meadows
some electronics.
at Voltrove, wherever that is.
What do we know?
Happy Hour checking in Loving, New Mexico. That's not very. Ooh, yikes! You poor bastard. Janice Hill, S.J. Surridge, Martha Whiting, 508's phone, Dave Cohen, Jennifer Probst. Flossie May, Tyler Scarborough, Phantom Inc., Madeline Michaud, Rick Gallagher, Amy Clausen, Kate with no last name, Ashley Green, Kaylee with no last name, Keely Moore. Is that Kelly? Keely. Is it Kelly? I don't know.
K-E-L-E?
Yeah. Is that Keely or Kalai?
Kaylee, usually, actually. I knew a girl with that name.
Kaylee?
Yes, it's a Hawaiian.
Like Pele.
Like Hawaiian.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kaylee.
Kelly Moore. Kaylee. Okay. Jim Kachas. Austin
Kachas.
Stevenson. Mike Stanton. Isn't that
The pitcher?
Yeah. Yeah, I
The old
thought
pitcher?
I knew a name.
Or,
That's funny. Victoria C.
Lefty
Melody
for the Yankees.
Cadwell. Aaron Weingarten, Donna with no last name, Brittany Longmire, Angela Zumwaldi, Lisanne Body perhaps,
Bodie.
Vanessa with a J.
Oh.
Guess where that's at? Vogan. Joseph
Find the J,
Rhymesy.
everybody.
Vanessa with a J. Timothy McMillan, Christina Van Sickle Hurd, Naomi Kramer, Libby Knight, Thomas Mink, Dennis James McIntosh, Nikki Smith, Tiffany Freeman, Aaron Taylor, Adrian Zimmerman, is SHM Ashley Berry. I don't know what that means. Patrick with no last name. Jason Heinrich, Dizzy Flame, Lucia with no last name. Brad Edwards, Brooke Tamburo, Jessica Davis, Vinny Bag of Donuts. Who is that? That's
It's a
is that other guy? It's that guy's joke, isn't it?
it was a dice thing. It was Joey Bag of Donuts, you'd say.
Oh, okay, got it. I think there was the guy with the weird last name that's a comic. I think he calls his brother Bag of Donuts. It doesn't matter.
Definitely not his then. We should
Okay,
probably
Sam Milbauer.
trade that one in.
He probably explains it better than me just saying Bag of Donuts.
Okay.
Chloe Weiland. He's an amazing comic. Melissa and Risen. Timothy Reagan. Velvet Armadillo. Brooke Braun.
Here's something he stole
Grandma.
from someone else. He's amazing.
He certainly didn't steal it, is my point.
He did if he's using it.
No, I'm
If it
sure
was
there's a
someone
reason
else's.
he's telling it that way.
Okay. I got what you're saying.
I'm not quoting his
I was
joke
very
well.
Okay. I was confused.
Jamie Souza, Trisha York, Serena Lagore, the Easterlings, Debbie Anderson, Carol Pikeraz, our Percos, Shauna Isaman, Amanda P, Nancy Cantwell, I can't well read, Taya Elise, Ava with no last name.
Not Dice. Sorry.
What is it? Is it Dom Herrera?
Herrera always said that. Big Petey, Little Petey, regular Petey, irregular Petey, Joe Bag of Donuts, fucking this one, that one, that was his thing.
What's
Sorry,
that kid's
that's where it
name?
came from.
He's
Very common.
He's
It's
been in
Italian
a
bullshit.
He's an Italian guy, I think.
There you go. Yeah.
Barb,
We all know
Miss,
better.
yeah.
Use that.
Where did I go? Damn it. Ava with no last name. Jen Tattershell, Nicole Coates, Karen Iowenthal, Joshua Gardner, Miss N, Barb Farneyhoff, Fernie Hoff.
Fernie.
Well, I'm asking so many questions with that last name. All right, Crezian with no last name. Terry Morris, J. Bob ML, Sonia Nelson, Sarah Wolf Hill, Megan with no last name, Ricky Hutchinson, Aiden Rolfe, Aaron Bagley, it's Bagley, Cindy McGee, Jackie with no last name, Brianna Brenna Kosilski, Leah McClendon, Russell Mylott, Anthony Og Miller, Adrian Lopez, Steph with no last name, Jackie Buddha, Mark Spark, Mary with no last name, Megan Dykeman, Cinnamon with no last name, Sweet Care 74, Matt Lamas, Gracie Parrish, Christian Puckett, Drew with no last name, Bethany Alice, Patience Harper, Jenny May, Elise Christensen, Alice perhaps, Taylor Haas, Glorious Lorius, Rachel Guerrero, Ryan and Alyssa Dole, Jared Chappell maybe, Zira Holtam, Zyra Holtam, Dean Rashkow, L. Minnie, Lauren B., Philippa Lees, Kelsey Prengle, Tamara Hughes, Lorna Graydon, Jess with no last name, Vanessa Healy, Parrot Heads with no last name. Those are the people that are big fans of Jimmy Buffett. Diane Putch, Steve King, Blair Osgood, Mike with no last name, Jamie Kashirski, Amy Graves, Bill with no last name, Kate Sullivan, Super Flaxon, whatever that is, Kelsey Unger, Bree, Delvox, Ross with no last name, Wendy Sue, Isabella Bascom, Sarah Johnson, Catherine Taylor, Liz Jones, Ed Jones, Ryan McAfee, Alex Jarding, Jean West, Gene West maybe, Ryan Marshall, Kristen with no last name, Jennifer Finley, Wendy Katamoto, Jason Miller, Joanne Bacon, Melinda with no last name, Sarah Lee. Because nobody does it better,
doesn't
James.
like her. Nobody doesn't like her. I'll tell you that right now.
And all of our patrons, you're amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, so much for all that you do for us. We can't thank you honestly enough. We're blown away by the support. So thank you for doing that. Thanks for coming out to live shows. Thanks for the Patreon. Thanks for telling everybody you know. Thanks for all that shit. If you want to follow us, you can do it real easily. Head to shutupandgivememurder.com. Drop down menu will take you anywhere you want to go. Keep coming back and seeing us, you Dago bastards. Yeah. And until next week. No, this is live from the Crime and Sports Studios. Jesus. It has been our pleasure. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
I did that on purpose.